ഒരിക്കൽ അത് ചെയ്യാത്തത് കൊണ്ട്
कितने लोग ज्वाइन कर लिए?
तो इसमें 26 है, उसमें हमारे
उल्टा पुल्टा कर दिया ये सब यार।
A very warm good afternoon to the August gathering. Honorable Director cum Vice Chancellor ICR IVRI Dr. Triveni Dutt, Director and Animal Husbandry Commissioners of different state animal husbandry departments, Joint Directors of IVRI, Heads of Regional Centers, Station In Charges, Head of Division, Scientists and students. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you in the first follow-up of All India State Animal Husbandry Directors Interface Meet 2025. Before starting today's program, an important announcement is that due to some busy schedule of Honorable Minister Professor S.P. Singh Baghelji will join in between. So we will directly start with technical session 1. And before that, I humbly request Honorable Director ICR IVRI Dr. Triveni Dutt sir to deliver his opening remarks.
So, very good afternoon to all of you. Esteemed director colleagues from various state government, esteemed joint director colleagues of IVRI, distinguished head of divisions of IVRI, in charge of regional campuses, and the joint director of our regional of our various campuses. It is indeed a matter of great pleasure that the institute is meeting with the esteemed directors of various states of the country. Today, this is the follow-up meeting of the first meeting held 2024 under the chairmanship of Honorable Cabinet Minister, Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Sri Rupalaji. We are really grateful to all of you. You have spared your valuable time for a very important cause. We are extremely grateful to Honorable Minister of State, Fishery, Animal Husbandry, Dairying, Professor S.P. Singh Baghelji, who has also consented to grace the occasion. He has given the consent to be here in our meeting at 2.30, but due to some precious assignment, he will be joining us at 3.30. So we thought that let us utilize the time, and we decided to initiate our technical session. In between, Honorable Minister will be joining and blessing to all of us. So we are really grateful to him. As you are aware that IVRI is a premier institution in the areas of veterinary science and animal sciences. In fact, institute has completed successfully 135 years. During the journey of 135 years, institutes have developed number of need-based technologies, including more than 50 vaccines and diagnostics, and also some technology related to the genetic improvement, like the development of important outstanding germ plasma of Vrindavani, having the 50% Holstein Brown and Jersey blood and 50% Haryana. We have also developed one important breed in the name of Landley, having the blood of landrace and the local pig. Recently, we have also characterized, documented, and registered two important breed. One breed of goat, Royal Khandi, and other breed is the pig in the name of Ghurra. Yesterday, one important breed have also been registered, which was documented by IVRI. That breed is the Chaugarga goat, the goat breed of Kumayu Hills. So these breeds are really performing outstanding in various areas of operations. We have a very rich portfolio, our IPR portfolio. We have been assigned successfully 106 patents, copyright, and the design. We have also submitted 154 patent, which are in various stages of the process. The institute have been given the deemed university status during 1983, and from 1983 we have successfully developed 5,500 young professionals having PG and PhD and also the UG degree. We have also completed 2,800 national diploma. In tune of national education policies, we have initiated various new 9 various degree programs, 22 PG diploma, and also 68 certificate vocational courses, 70 value addition courses, and 5 ODL courses. These degree programs, PG diploma, and vocational courses, and the courses related to certificate programs have been started in line of the requirement of various states. So state government is our valued stakeholder, and whenever we set our researchable agenda, we before setting our agenda, we used to discuss our senior officials of the state government, so that the need of the state can be addressed properly. The human resource development is our flagship activity. Our 4 regional center campuses and divisions have been elevated to full-fledged institutes. Our valued alumni heading various animal science institute as a director. These are 14 out of 19 animal science institute. Our valued alumni also heading various state Department of Animal Husbandry directors, and our alumni also have joined in various capacities as a civil servant of the country. So this institute having a great contributions in human resource development. We have successfully supporting in implementation of NADCP program through supplying of vaccines, diagnostics, and the reagents. In the country, we have 21 state biologicals and 8 private manufacturers. across various state biologicals and private manufacturers, institute is supplying seed culture, 12 important seed culture, antigen, antiserum. We are also handling the outbreak of various diseases across the states through our cadre and providing national advisories after diagnosis the outbreak. And during these 135 years, we have successfully developed 47 technologies which have been commercialized 160 industries, and out of this commercialization we have generated revenue to the tune of 18.5 crore rupees. We have also developed a total number of 84 ICT tools which have been which are being used by 4.7 lakhs people across 134 countries. Recently, we have introduced BTech, Biotech in UG programs, Master in Veterinary Anatomy, and also Master in Veterinary Informatics. We have also planned to introduce in next from the next session the BTech in Food Science. So these are our and we have successfully entered in national institutions ranking framework program NIRF, which we have been ranked 5th in the country, and we have also successfully introduced ourselves in NAC accreditation process. So now the target of 2025 is to introduce ourselves in world ranking criteria. So with this my small brief of the institute, I am really grateful to all of you, and we hope that during this our afternoon's discussion, a number of issues will be generated which will be helpful for IVRI for setting our researchable agenda. This platform is also important for us to have a feedback of our technologies developed by this institute in the past. So with this remark, I am really grateful to the Joint Director Actions and Education for taking lot of pain organizing this important interface meet. My gratitude to all the Joint Director colleagues, head of divisions, and the head of divisions who are going to present some of our important issues. So this is from my side. I am really grateful to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of motivation. And now it's time to start the technical session 1. And to commence this session, I invite Joint Director Research, IVRI, Dr. S.K. Singh, sir, to start this technical session 1.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit. And at the outset, I am very much thankful to the organizers for giving us an opportunity to head this technical session. And most respected Director IVRI, Dr. Trivedi sir, all directors of the State Animal Husbandry Department, Joint Director Academic, Dr. Mendiratta sir, who is also a co-chairperson of this technical session, Joint Director Extension, Dr. Rupsi Madam, all Head of the Division, Joint Director Mukteshwar and Joint Director Bengaluru Campus, Head of the Regional Campuses, Kolkata and Palampur, all Head of the Division in charges. Again, this session had been preponed and because of our chief guest will join little late. So that's why this onus has been given to us. And with me, co-chair Dr. Mendiratta sir is there, and rapporteur Dr. Suman and Dr. Shruti is there. And coordinators for this technical session is Dr. Rohit and Dr. Aklesh. So I hope the rapporteurs will do their job and they will make a very nice proceedings. So in these sessions, there are 5 lectures are there. They are all the expert lectures are there. So now I will request Dr. Kiran Bilegaonkar sir, who is the head division of veterinary public health of this particular prestigious institute, and the topic of the is breaking the resistance strategies to combat antimicrobial resistance in livestock farming. So he is a very expert person in this particular area. He has a long experience. So I request Dr. Bilegaonkar sir to deliver his.
Thank you very much, Chairman and Co-Chair, and all the distinguished gathering who are participating in this interface. I'll be giving a brief talk on the antimicrobial resistance and the strategies to combat this AMR since time limit is very small. So I'll be just giving an overview of this AMR and important pathogens and some strategies, national as well as international guidelines for the AMR combating the AMR. So I need not emphasize on the antimicrobial resistance. It's a very, very important issue and a global issue. And we are all experiencing treatment failures now and then. Our relatives, our some of the acquaintances are also getting some of the issues related to treatment failure with a very grave consequences. Consequences like very, very simple infections, they are becoming more and more difficult to treat. There is an increased length of treatment, length of hospitalization is also increasing. The treatment cost obviously will become higher. And in many cases, we have seen a simple infection turning into septicemic or the bloodstream infections and causing deaths. Plus, there is a heavy economic loss also. Consequences of AMR, antimicrobial resistance, particularly in trade, are also coming up in a big way. And production losses are happening in the animal farms, in the aquaculture, even in the agriculture sector also. We are facing a grave consequences. These are some of the figures related to antimicrobial consumption by the veterinary sector over the globe. And you can see here, the India, there are several hotspots which are a dark purple color where antimicrobial consumption is quite high. India is among top antibiotic consuming countries in the world. Topmost is the USA, almost 23%, followed by, China, followed by United States. And India, although it's a high consumption, but compared to global consumption, it's only 3%. And obviously, it will be very high because our livestock population is also quite substantial. And there is expected that it is going to be increasing almost 67% in next by 2030. This is a very alarming figure, giving a global burden which is related to antimicrobial resistance. And the predictive models, they suggest that almost 5 million deaths are associated with AMR. This paper was published in September 2022, and the figures, the calculations were for 2019. And the exactly attributable deaths are almost 1.3 million. So 13 lakhs deaths were also attributed to this AMR. And top pathogens are E. coli, staph, Klebsiella, Streptococci, Acinetobacter. So we call them as escape pathogens, and nearly 70% deaths either associated or attributable. They are because of these top 5 pathogens. When we see pathogen and antibiotic combinations, again you can see here E. coli with fluoroquinolone and cephalosporins, Klebsiella pneumoniae. They are among top leaders and causing almost 50,000 to 1 lakh deaths every year. Transfers of ARG, there are many routes of antimicrobial resistant gene transfers. Topmost is among the healthcare facilities in human where community acquired infections and community acquired transfer happens. Then there are treatment aspect, treatment area. Then we have a farm usage of antibiotics in aquaculture, animal husbandry. Plus, there is another important route that is effluent, which is coming out, which is untreated from pharmaceutical factory. So it's a multifaceted transfer of AMR has been reported world over. In our animal husbandry sector, we are using antimicrobials basically for treatment purpose, therapeutic. We also sometimes use it for metaphylactic purpose when we see that some disease is knocking on the doors of the farm. Also, sometimes just to have a preemptive action, if some disease has happened in the nearby farms, we try to have a prophylactic use of antimicrobials. And in many commercial farms world over, we have seen that the use for growth promotion is also quite rampant, which is obviously, it is not allowed. I'll show you subsequent slide also. And this subtherapeutic use or imprecise dose for a longer period, either for growth or for metaphylaxis, prophylaxis, will have a selection pressure on the microbes and then even common organisms. So common cells also they acquire resistance and then they transfer to the pathogens. Okay. So strategies to combat, we have in 2017, India came up with the national level policy and guideline, that is a National Antimicrobial Resistance Action Plan. This was developed by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare with different 6 strategies. Subsequently, some of the state governments also came up with the state action plans, to combat antimicrobial resistance, like Kerala, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh. But these were little old and they were kind of a unidirectional or kind of a veterinary or medical sector policies. Since COVID-19, we have seen that One Health approach is gaining momentum. And it is imperative now that all sectors like human health, animal health, wildlife, environment, they should all join together. And this is a new draft policy, NAP AMR 2.0, which is almost ready and it is coming out, and with the 6 different strategies for the combating AMR. So first strategy is like improving awareness and understanding. That's what we are doing it now, communicating the importance of AMR. Also, IVRI is organizing several training programs. In last couple of years, we have organized training programs for different stakeholders on AMR. Then strengthening of laboratory capacity. This is one of the important areas where we can kind of strengthen laboratories to do antibiotic susceptibility testing or antimicrobial sensitivity test, as well as surveillance. We have ICR program on surveillance of AMR as well as on antibiotic residues. So this is one of the key areas where initiatives have been taken. One of the important areas for veterinary sector is reduction of incidence of infection, that is establishing
voice is not there. It is not audible, please. Your voice is not audible.
चालू कर लेट चला गया.
Okay, ठीक. Okay, so I was talking about IPC in animal farms, and there are different strategies, and some of them I have narrated, and then few others are like use of special feed additives. Nowadays, to enhance useful gut flora, several kinds of approaches are being used, like prebiotic, probiotic, some herbal preparations are being used as alternatives to antimicrobial. So we can have a different strategies. Use of healthy livestock. Whenever we are replenishing our farms, we have to use healthy livestock. And then vaccination is one of the most important preventive measures for the prevention of any disease on the farm. But not only vaccination, but it has to be a good quality. So storage and handling also have to be proper. Then the fourth strategy for this combating AMR in NAP is like optimization of use of antimicrobial. Whenever we are using antimicrobial, it has to be used appropriately, judiciously, for treatment or for preventive or for the control programs. And we should not, it is not recommended to be used as a growth promoter. And whenever it is possible, do antimicrobial sensitivity testing before use of antibiotics. So, and this strategy for research and innovation, this is being undertaken by several institutions across India, and they are working on transmission pathways, priority identifications, and defining standards. This is again a policy matter which is being taken up by the Government of India. And the final strategy, of course, this is a very important strategy. Unless there is a mechanism for governance is in place with the responsibilities fixed, policies assigned, implementation of those policies and collaboration of all the stakeholders, it is not possible to combat this menace. These are some of the directives given by the CDSCO that the antibiotics and hormones in the animal feed should all be stopped. Then second guideline which has came up about in 2013, they have given about withdrawal period for all the drugs. It has to be mentioned on the label. If not mentioned, then there has to be strictly withdrawal period to be followed, 7 days for eggs and milk and about 28 days for the meat. This is an international quadripartite work plan which has been recently in 2024, it has come out, and they have classified antibiotics and prioritized different classes of antibiotics. The one which is on the left where there is a high AMR risk, it is authorized only for human use. Then high priority critical antibiotics, then critically important antimicrobials, highly important, and all these 4 classes, they can be used either in animal and human, and last one is only authorized in the animals. So this is another interesting guideline which has came out, which is called as a WHO aware. This is a guideline for use of antibiotics in different type of healthcare facilities, either in primary healthcare facility or hospital healthcare facilities. In different condition, what should be the approach for use of antibiotics, when to be used, and which antibiotics to be used. This is a WHO guideline. And again, National Medical Commission has recently come out with this national guideline. It is also on the similar lines. So we need to have our own guideline for veterinary sector. These are initiatives which I was talking about, the ICR initiatives on AMR as well as residue monitoring, and IVRI is one of the key components there, and we are working on both these aspects across India in different institutes. This is all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kiran sir, for very nicely briefing the concept of the AMR and the mitigation strategies, the government initiative in these areas, especially the NAP2. So I think question will be taken in the last one. Yeah. So now I move to the second lecture of this session. It is by Dr. Pranav Dhar, and he is the head division of the biological standardization. And the topic of this session is the emerging and transboundary animal diseases, challenges, impact, and global strategies for prevention and control. Again, this is a very important area. I think, sir, no, I request you, sir, to please go.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor, Joint Directors, my colleagues, Honorable Director of the State Governments, and ladies and gentlemen. So I'll be talking on emerging and transboundary animal diseases, challenges, impact, and global strategies for prevention and control. Although there was around 17 transboundary animal diseases, I will be discussing only 7 or 6 of them, which are present in the 8 SAARC countries. You can see all these 6 diseases, FMD, PPR, LSD, ASF, CSF, and avian influenza. They are present in almost all the countries except this Maldives, where only PPR is reported, and Sri Lanka, where only FMD is reported. So to start with PPR, this disease we are having in these South Asian countries from 1989, and for last 20-25 years, I will be showing on graph that there's a declining phase compared to 1995. And good thing is that we have developed a very good vaccine, PPR Sungri strain, which is now being used by the Government of India under NLDCP program for PPR eradication program with effect from December 22. And this is in line with the global PPR eradication program launched by WA and FAO to eradicate the disease by 2030. And there's an estimation that in these SAARC countries, all these countries will have free status from 26-27 onwards. And there's 100% vaccination. And under NLDCP, we are doing the quality control testing, and we have released so far this 436 million doses of this PPR vaccine for use from December 22 to December 24, these last 2 years. And given that sheep and goat population around 200 million, so this dose is sufficient to cover the entire sheep and goat population for these 2 years. So we are in a good position for PPR. This is the global status. You can see that the gray area there, the sporadic outbreaks are there. And if we talk about this status from 1995 to 2019, from 2005 onwards and 12 onwards, there's a declining trend. So hopefully by 2030, we will be free of the disease with the global efforts of WA and other governments. Next is FMD. FMD, we are having this disease for last 161 years. And in India, we are practicing the trivalent vaccine OA-Asia1, and 80% of these outbreaks are due to O, and biannual vaccination is done. And again, under NLDCP, the Government of India has taken initiative to have FMD control program from January 2020. And under this program, we have, for last 4 years, we have released around 878 million doses for use. But this is a bit less amount compared to the, if you see the population, around cattle buffalo population 300. So if we vaccinate cattle and buffalo population, still this amount is not meeting up to cater to the whole cattle buffalo population. And if we go by all the cattle, buffalo, pig, sheep, and goat, we need some more, around 2,000 million doses for 4 years. So that we still, India has to achieve this. We hopefully will have good quality vaccines in near future. This is the global distribution of different strains. You can see this India and this other neighboring countries, we have OA-Asia1. Whereas if you see that world status of these green areas are the free of this FMD, and these gray areas, the sporadic outbreaks are there. In India, there's a again decreasing trend from 2018 onwards. 2019-20, there's a decrease in 10, and hopefully we'll also get a free status of FMD by 2030. And I would like to point out here that other 5 countries, Botswana, Kyrgyzstan, Namibia, Morocco, and Thailand, in these 5 countries also, the official control program are going on. Next. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So LSD is another emerging transboundary animal disease in the South Asia. It is basically this is a vector-borne disease is transmitted by these flies, table fly, tick, mosquito, and common fly. Historically, it was from 1929 onwards, it was restricted to Africa, and from 1980 onwards, it spread to first Europe and then towards the other Asian countries, and huge loss is there. And even in the Andaman Nicobar Islands also, that LSD outbreak has been reported. So that is a great concern for all of us. If you go by that history, you can see that it started from down Africa, from Zambia. Then slowly they have spread to Israel, then neighboring country Turkey, then Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia 2016. And from there it traveled to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh means immediately it spread to same here, India and China, then Nepal and other South Asian countries. And there's a tremendous threat for this Australia and other European countries. This slide almost a similar slide, but I would like to show that these brown areas are the dense cattle density is more. So in those areas, the outbreaks have been reported. And there, fortunately, we have a very good vaccine, live attenuated vaccine developed by IVRI and that NRC equine that can be used for control of this disease. CSF is also listed under this transboundary animal disease in the South Asia. It occurs in Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, and India. Earlier, the Lapinase vaccines were used for the control of the disease, but problem with the Lapinase vaccine was that Lapinase vaccine was produced in very low quantity. Not even 1% of the animals were not vaccinated. So that's why the earlier control program was not successful. But recently, from 2020, November 22. Government of India, the GSG has launched this control program for CSF. And so far, this last 2 years, we have released around 15.4 million doses for use. And if given that population around 9 million, so this is sufficient for at least 90% of the vaccination of the 90% of the peak population. These are the gray areas of the disease outbreak areas, and green areas are the CSF free areas. And even in 2023, there were 23 outbreaks of CSF in Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Jharkhand, and Kerala. And this graph I am showing that this one, 96 to 2015, although vaccines were used, but outbreaks were still happening because vaccines were not sufficient amount to supply for the supply. So now, hopefully, from the last 2-3 years, we are supplying this. Government of India is getting the vaccines, and it is being supplied. Hopefully, we'll achieve that free status after a few years by 2030. African swine fever is another, all of us know that it has caused great havoc since 2020, 21, 22. It started from Assam in February, March to Arunachal Pradesh, and then spread to all the 24 states and union territories. Mortality is 100%. And the virus survives for longer time in contaminated fomites, food and feeds, and lot of advisories and lot of guidelines are there by FAO. And these are the important 5 steps which are required to control the disease. That is visitor hygiene routine. That no infection should come from the visitors, and vice versa. And if there is a threat, then that should be fixed. That should be contained by using colored gloves, colored aprons, boots, etc. And optimal cleaning and disinfection. And contaminated drinking water also spread the disease. So you have to prevent that introduction of ASF through drinking water, and control of wildlife and pests. This also transmit the disease. If you go by history, again, it started from Kenya, south of this Africa. Then from there it went to that Portugal and Spain, and then from there it spread to Americas in 1970, then to Georgia, and finally you can see here that Europe and other Asian countries. And GFTAD means G standard, Global Framework for Control of TADs. They have taken an initiative in 2020 to 2025 to control the disease by strict hygienic measures, and they are successful because no further new countries are not being affected. They could contain the disease. New countries are being affected by this disease. This global control for ASF is achieved. No new countries affected with ASF, and there's a decline in the outbreaks, and there's reduced loss due to ASF. Now, this is the last disease I will be talking about, is avian influenza. We know all these stories from 2006 from Maharashtra when it was first detected H5N1 till this month, 2025, that bird flu is not restricted to birds. It is spreading to tigers, human. Even in USA 2024, there are some H5N1 detected in cattle hunt. So, and for bird flu, the birds, for avian influenza birds, it is controlled by culling of birds. And from 2022 onwards, the government of India has approved that vaccine policies is available for H9N2, which is low pathogenic avian influenza strain. But ideal would be the H5N1, and so far there's no policy. And our ICR NISAD is jointly with St. Jude Children's Hospital USA. They are collaborating to prepare to develop one recombinant reverse genetics based inactivated avian influenza vaccine using H5N2. Since this is a potential genetic disease, genetic potential is avian influenza, the 2007 policy is now scrapped, is now replaced, discontinued, and new policy has come that is called GS, Global Strategy for Prevention and Control of High HPAI from 2024 to 2033. This policy includes in the left side corner, policy includes that surveillance of not only birds, it is for domestic and wild animals. Then we have to improve the laboratory diagnosis for HPI. Then One Health approach should be applied, and that we have to give focus on the poultry wildlife human interface. So jointly, this is a 10 years program, and slowly, and last one is development of HPI vaccine. So far, there is no policies there, but now the guideline says that you have to have that HPI vaccine. Earlier, it was only LPI vaccine. So H9N2 vaccines are globally, these strains are globally widespread. In the graph, you can see that blue areas. These are the areas that where all these GI strain, GI isolate strains of this AI virus is prevalent. And hopefully this H9N2 will, if it is allowed to continue, it will be used. And in the country, 2-3 manufacturers are now started manufacturing this vaccine. And when as I told that H5N1 would be ideal, so efforts are being made to develop that H5N1 vaccine using H5N2. And one information from the house is that although India is endemic for this avian influenza, the government of India through WA has declared 26 poultry establishments, which are these hatching companies that which supplies hatching eggs. They are declared as components free of avian influenza, so that they are exporting the eggs. So now I have covered all these 6 diseases, but now question is from where it is coming. Obviously, it is coming from this tremendous high demand of animal proteins, because Southeast Asia is having the maximum dense population of animals as well as human in the world. And due to that, there is a high demand of animal protein and cereals, and there is a high frequency of animal trade and movement, and that causes the disease. And all these control measures depends on 3 important factors. One is we should have a good vaccine, and vaccine coverage should be more than 80%. And movement control and quarantine, obvious, this is obvious. And if slaughter campaigns are possible, suppose for birds, for pigs, whatever possible, that can be applied to contain the disease. And there are also some human factors, because as you know that sick animals, there is a tendency that whenever birds and pigs are becoming sick, they sell in half price, and people take it, they eat those animals. And also swill feeding, there is no policy for swill feeding. Swill feeding means a kitchen waste. Without cooking, they feed to the animals. That has raised, that has great concern. That has proved that spread the outbreak of FMD, ASF, and CSF. So that awareness has to be there. So overall, these are the 5, 6, 7 global bodies which frame policies, and those are implemented in different countries. This is the first report of meeting of this first coordination meeting for the TADs in South Asia in Bhutan. They also listed the 5 priority disease, priority TAD diseases like PPR, FMD, ASF, LSD. I covered all this. This is the recent initiative by Government of India, jointly with FAO. The Government of India DSG launched this Pandemic Preparedness and Response Program. This is a $25 million program. So way forward is we should have India in the country, we should have strict surveillance, monitoring and reporting. And all these reference laboratories of GFTADs are in place, but they have to be functional. And vaccine quality control should be strengthened as per standards, WAHA standards, so that we ensure that good quality vaccines are going to the field. So for reference, one can refer to this FAO and WAHA websites. And also in 2022, there's a policy paper has been published by NAS. It also includes all these measures to be taken for control of the different TAD diseases. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Third, sir, for highlighting the important emerging and transboundary element diseases. And what are those, what is their impact and the preparedness. So I think it will really, it might have given us some impetus to all directors of the husbandry how to go for the preparedness to control our. So now we are moving from health to the production side. Another important area is the nutrition. And the topic of today's session is the innovative alternative feed resources, unlocking sustainable nutrition for livestock farming. So I now request Dr. Jadhav, Sri Jadhav, Principal Scientist, Division of Animal Nutrition Division, for the lecture. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Director, sir, the respected joint directors, heads of the divisions, all the distinguished participants joined online. I welcome you for this 5 to 6 minute talk, which is on the innovative alternate feed resources for sustainable livestock production. Before going further, we need to understand some very important facts and figures. We all know we have 536.76 million livestock population. We cater world's 20% livestock population and also holds 17.5% of world's human population. We own only 2.3% of the world's land area. Our fodder cultivation in India, it occupies only 4% of the cultivable land. And we all know that the feed cost alone comprises 70%. Sometimes it is more than that. The total recurring expenditure of livestock farming. Again, if you see the availability of feed and fodder in India, we have 11.24% deficit of grain fodder. Though these figures, you can find some variation in the literature. These are the recent figures available on the net and also downloaded from the vision of IGFRI. Further, we have some 11% deficit of dry fodder. More importantly, we have 44% deficit of the concentrate feed ingredient, which is a concentrated source of various nutrients to the animal. So under such situation, where the conventional feed resources are not available to that extent, we have to have some alternate feed resources. And our today's topic is on only some innovative alternate feed resources which may be used for sustainable animal production. Because we see there are a number of alternate feed resources available, but today we'll see only 4 some important alternate feed resources that can be, that are innovative of the late, they're being used and they really have a potential. So this is just again one data that by 2050 also, if we do not take the measures, we are going to have the deficit of the feeds and fodder as well as the crude protein and total digestible nutrient required for the animals. Under such situations, nowadays we are looking that some of the alternate feed resources are coming up. The most importantly, number 1 is the DDGS, that is dried distiller grains with the solubles. This is the most important alternate feed resources is being emerged. Rather, we can say that this the lecture could have been addressed for whole of the time on the DDGS is a such kind of an animal feed resource nowadays available in India. Also, some of the very unconventional feed resource like insect meal is coming up. Then there has been some of the feed resources we know very well, like azolla, the seaweed, which is a byproduct of, you can say the marine byproduct. Then genetically modified fodders were already being used in the India. Then hydroponics, grains, which are sprouted out of hydroponic technology. and some of the important fruit waste pulp. I mean, these are some of the selected ingredients. However, as I told that region specific, there are so many oilseed mills or unconventional oilseed mills which are used as a cake for the animal ration. But because of the limitation, we cannot cover all of that feed resources. And we'll 2 to 3 important alternate feed resources. So as I told that DDGS, so it is produced in the process of the ethanol from the grains. As we know that ethanol blending program is one of the government of India's ambitious program, and we are targeting to have a 20%. And what is the source is from the grains, mainly from the maize and the rice. So with that, if you can have a look at this table, right now we have some 300 crore liter of grain ethanol production. So as a byproduct, we are getting 1.34 million metric ton of DDGS, and in the future, I mean, we are going to get more than this quantity. And if we see the feed sector, we have some 45 million metric ton feed produced, and I mean compounded feed produced from the feed industry. And right now, there has been only 2 to 3% of penetration of DDGS. I mean, there is a long way to go. In feed industry itself, even it acquires some 10 to 20% of the DDGS, it is going to make a huge impact on the animal feed sector as well as the economic of the animal feed in India. We should, I mean, going further, should know what is the chemical composition and up to what extent the quality of the DDGS is there. You see the protein content mainly, there are two kinds of the DDGS. One is produced from the maize, another is from the rice. The rice DDGS, we can say the superior because it is having some 46 to 48% of the crude protein and is almost equal to the soybean meal. And whereas if you see the maize, there is some 28 to 30% of the crude protein. And it's also having substantially high quality of the crude protein. So there is it serves as a valuable source of protein, then also energy for the animals. And of course, when you talk of the protein, its amino acid, quality of amino acid sequence, how much essential and non-essential. The amino acid content in DDGS has also been found to be similar to some of the conventional feed resources that we are using. And interestingly, it's also a good source of the phosphorus. Among the mineral mixture, phosphorus is the costliest mineral, we can say. If we are feeding it to the animals, to a certain extent, the phosphorus requirement will be satisfied. But of course, there are some limitations when we go for unconventional feeds. So the problem is that there are several companies, hundreds of the ethanol producing companies, they have some or other process of producing the ethanol. And because of that, there is a great variation in the composition of the DDGS. We cannot ensure the same nutritive composition of DDGS all around. So that is one. And the problem of mycotoxins, because if it is not stored properly, there is a chances of aflatoxin, but the problem is not that severe that we are hearing from outside. So up to a certain extent, yeah, there is a concern about it. Another feed resource, I mean, we can, it may or may not be good to see, but it's an insect meal. So when we talk of the animal, see the protein requirement of human being as well as animal being will be questionable in time to come because protein is the costliest feed ingredient. And to satisfy the protein of the non-ruminant species, mainly the poultry, most of the flourishing industry is the poultry industry. Other monographic animals like the pigs, then aquafeed, pet animal, also for the ruminants and also for the human beings, it is being looked as a food and feed. For India, if we see the tropical environments and availability of organic waste, maybe agricultural waste or other kind of waste, for insect growth, it's an opportunity for India because we provide them a natural humidity, a natural temperature to grow. So there is no need to have a kind of a technologies which in other countries they are using. So it will be very and there are some permitted species like black soldier fly, common house fly, yellow mealworm, lesser mealworm, house cricket, banded cricket, and so on. This has been legally authorized by European regulatory authorities. But in India, unfortunately, we do not have such kind of regulation, neither for the DDGS, not for some other kind of feed ingredients. It has been also found that the digestibility and its palatability is also very good. I mean, in animals and also in the human beings, also it is being used. If we see the figures here, the soybean meal, we say that is having 45 to 50% CP. Fish meal, which is generally used for the poultry, it has 65 to 75% of the CP. Nonetheless, insect meal also is having 40 to 60% of the crude protein. And its amino acid composition is also equal to that of the fish meal. It is having good content of lysine, methionine, which are the critical amino acids to be present in the animal diet. So it is an alternative source of the protein. It is highly nutritious. Insects, they are better feed converters. If you see a cattle have to eat 8 kg of feed to produce 1 kg of meat. Insect, they can eat 2 kg of feed and produce 1 kg of meat. So such a kind of huge potential to convert the feed into the animal protein. They are easily reared on the organic waste. Nutritional quality is comparable to conventional. They have a smaller carbon footprint. So what our topic today is sustainable agricultural production. How we can go for the sustainable, made with the animal production or made with the environment. Another much discussed in unconventional feed resource is as well. It has been criticized many a times that it's just a fashion or something like that because we do not have much of the dry matter in that. But if we critically see the Farmers First program by the ICR, followed in the Chhattisgarh, they have many success stories using ICR, this as well. It is a water floating fern consisting of the root, stem and the leaves, and sometimes it is mixed with the blue and green algae, which have a nitrogen fixing bacteria. And by that way, it is increasing the crude protein content also. Because of its easy cultivation and productivity and high nutritive value, Azolla is a promising supplementary green feed. We have seen that we have a short of a green feed. Having a very good protein, 25 to 35%. You see the amino acid content, leucine, lysine, arginine, valine, and important essential amino acids, though it is deficient in tryptophan and some sulfur containing amino acids. Again, it's a good source of the vitamin A. Being a green, it's a good source of the vitamin A, vitamin B12, beta carotene, and some of the growth promoting compounds, which are of some phytochemical kind of things. And also, it is a good source of the minerals, calcium and phosphorus. So, such a good kind of feed resource. It may not be possible to sole feeding of animals, but as a supplement, we can go for it. This Azolla you are seeing, and some general information is that around 1 kg of Azolla is harvested in 10 to 15 days after inoculation. So in the backyard, people are harvesting, supplementing to the small group of animals. Then there are favorable results in fish, swine, poultry, and even the cattle. It's a valuable green feed supplement if it is mixed with the crushed maize grains or even a wheat bran or rice bran, which generally a farmer is having at home. It's an excellent alternative feed. It saves around 20% of poultry feed for a poor farmer. So poultry, even if it is a backyard or it is small scale poultry farming, 20% saving of feed is a very big thing. Then it is an alternative to concentrate that we have discussed. And mainly this is very useful under the low input livestock production system. That's what we are talking of, the sustainability. Another again much discussed alternate feed resource is the sugarcane trash, because in India we have plenty of sugarcane. It's being produced. So it is nothing but a sugarcane crop. The major states, as you know, in Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, AP, Telangana, Bihar, Gujarat, Haryana, Uttarakhand, and Punjab. In these states, quite a big area we are covering. And kind of the feed resource available, we can make a judicious use of it. There is a figure that 6.8 to 10.3 million tons of sugarcane trash can be available for feeding of animals. And if you see its a chemical composition, it's a good source of the digestible fiber that is called as the NDF. Though there may be some of the problems related to the calcium and phosphorus, because sugarcane tops most of the time they can accumulate the oxalate and may hamper the calcium and phosphorus utilization. Next is a hydroponic grain sprout. So this is also not a much new feed and grain, but comparatively it is being thought even by the urban animal rearers to grow around them, because it can be grown where water scarcity is there. Space is not available. So under that situation, if you see, the hydroponic is nothing but a green feed which is produced through the grain germination, and it produces around 4 to 6 kg within 10 days period. Per kg of the seed, it can give 4 to 6 kg of the biomass in 10 days period. So being green also, it is a good source of the nutrients. It can be considered as a contingency strategic green feed. Along with dry fodder, we can supplement the dry fodder with this, and the nutritive value of grain sprout in terms of its all nutrients is as good as its parent material, like what the grain we are using. So another feed resource we can say the fruit industry, and there has been a shift from the growing a cash crop to the fruit crops of the late because of change in the pattern and the consumer availability. So because of that, there is a huge amount of the fruit waste available. So in that also it is discussed that there is a need for waste to wealth, which is also suited for the SDGs that have been claimed by the United Nations. And I'm not going into the detail, but if you see the potential fruit resources is apple waste, grape waste, from India, then mango processing industry, citrus fruit byproducts, banana fruit byproducts, then pineapple fruit industry, jackfruit industry, tomato pomace. They are some of the selected fruits from which there is a considerable amount of the feed resource which is available. I challenge that how we can integrate in the animal feeding system. Some of other feed resources that even IVRI was also involved in carrying out the trials on it. There are several and unconventional feed resources have been evaluated by IVRI itself, but they are not very new. They have been used since long, like neem seed cake, currant seed cake, the castor seed cake, some of the tree pods like Licania leucocephala, some of the other tree leaves, then hotel and kitchen waste, especially for the pigs, for other monogastric animals, some of the tree leaves, and region-specific oil seed mills. We have so many. We have 19 eco zones, agroecological zones, and in all those zones we have different kind of oil seed mills. So as a byproduct, though it's available in a little quantity, but it has to be integrated in the livestock feeding system. So lastly, we can say that there are several alternate feed resources, however, their availability and uniform nutritional values are concerned. And for sustainable livestock production, only those resources that have huge potential in terms of its quantity and nutritional value needs to be taken into consideration, like for example, DDGS. So DDGS is the most used net feed resource and can be considered as a future potential animal feed ingredient in India, and lot of emphasis is already being given on that. And insect meal and other alternative feed resources have a huge potential. However, we have to undertake some studies and we have to generate the guidelines and also regulate it through government agencies. And also we have to address some of the social acceptability issues and taboos before we go for some recommendations. Next, please. Yeah, it's all about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Please.
Respected Director and Vice Chancellor, IVRI Azadnagar, Dr. Triveni Das, sir. All the Joint Directors of IVRI Azadnagar, all Directors of State Animal Husbandry who join online, Joint Directors of Regional Station and Centers, and distinguished head of the department present here and in charges. Sir, during recent past, several of the technologies have been developed which made a great impact on the reproductive efficiency as well as the genetic improvement. Some of the technologies written here, like the estrus induction and estrus synchronization, you are well aware about it. Fixed time artificial insemination, and this technology is very important for the animals which are silent estrus like buffaloes. MOET, multiple ovulation and embryo transfer technology, or in other words, we can say in vivo embryo production and transfer. OPU, IVF, ET, ovum pickup, in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. This is the most recent technologies. Cloning and transgenics, you all know about it. And sex sorting of the spermatozoa. It is also a very recent technology developed. So I will not be going to discuss all because it will be too lengthy due to restriction of the time. I will be focusing or discussing in brief only about the sex sorted semen, current status and future prospects. The livestock sector contributes 5% of national GDP, and it also contributes 26% towards the agricultural GDP. Animal breeders made efforts to extract the genetic potential of milch animal. And if you see the livestock census, a comparative 2012 and 2019 figure, the total cattle population is marginally increased, that is 0.89% only, but the total female population has substantially increased. And you can see here, this is 145. There is a significant increase in the female population, which is an indication that farmers is now preferring the females rather than males. Now, the reason for the low share of the bull in the dairy economy, we all know that because of the introduction of artificial insemination, the use of the bull has been reduced, increased agricultural mechanization, more focus on milk production, difficult to manage after maturity, the male animals, and rearing raises financial burden to the farmers. Now coming to the semen production. We can see this figure, sir. Here 1:25,000 roughly. This is the ratio of male and female at present. The 1 male to 25,000 females. And AI coverage also already we know is only 30% with conception rate of 35%. And at present, there are 57 semen stations which produces 122 million doses. But our actual requirement is 200 million doses still in demand. For that, what we can do, we need around 9,000 bulls we need extra. At present, we have 4,180 bulls. Requirement of elite bulls is very important. And recently we procured a lot of semen doses from the Brazil to increase the number of high genetic merit bulls. Though the milk production is increasing at the rate of 6% annually, but the milk production of our indigenous animals is still very low. So another problem is the stray cattle population, and over 5 million stray cattle as per the 20th livestock census report. And you can see in the map here, the red one shows the increase in the number of the stray cattle in these states, the percentage change in the stray cattle. The raising population of the stray cattle creates issue related to economic values, animal welfare, and public health. So adoption of the sex semen can help to optimize the livestock population in the long run, leading to an increased milk production. Sex sorted semen is the production of offspring of the desired sex. The government aimed to establish 12 semen stations, but at present we have only 7 which are currently operational. And the advantage of the sex semen is the faster multiplication of the elite germ plasm, increased selection intensity, and thus increase the genetic gain, reduce unwanted male calf, increase daughters per bull, increase milk production meeting the rising milk demand, herd expansion we can do, and improve herd biosecurity, reduce postpartum complication, and reduce greenhouse emission. These are the advantages of sex sorted semen. And you all know that male produces the 50% X-bearing chromosomes, X-bearing sperms, and 50% Y chromosome-bearing sperms. Female only producing only X chromosomes. The basis of the separation of X and Y chromosomes are as mentioned here. On the basis of DNA content, we can separate both male X and Y sperms. The high DNA content is high in X sperm, which is around 4% in case of the bovine, and other species 2.3 to 7.5%. There is a variation in the size of the X and Y sperm. X sperm is larger. Motility The Y sperms move faster. This is also a basis of separation of the X and Y sperm. Surface charge, X sperm has a positive surface charge and Y have the negative surface charge. And cell surface antigen also make a difference. HY antigen on the Y sperm, it is present. So X chromosome bearing sperm can be sorted under the fluorescence activated cell sorting system that is called flow cytometry system. So Rashtriya Gokul Mission also emphasized the development and conservation of indigenous breeds and research development and innovation in the bovine breeding program. What are the challenges before us? Challenges is the high cost of production of the sex semen. It is more expensive than the conventional semen, with the price ranging from 1,000 to 15,000 rupees per dose. Low conception rate. If the conception rate conventional, it is 50 to 60%, but sex semen, it is coming 30 to 40 maximum. Infrastructure, we do not have the robust infrastructure to sustain this, and proper estrus detection, the training is lacking. Trained artificial insemination technician we have less, and more number of technicians without training. Proper storage facilities also lack. Future direction, the research is needed in the direction to
ठीक है मीटिंग में हाँ
नमस्कार।
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम सर।
तो मैं माफी चाहूंगा, भारत के रक्षा मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी आज मेरी लोकसभा आगरा में थे, अभी 2 मिनट पहले वो गए हैं, इसलिए मैं आपकी पूरी सेमिनार को सुन नहीं पाया। और मैं आपकी इजाजत हो तो मैं अपनी बात कहूं।
सर मैं अभी 2 मिनट सर शुरू करके फिर मैं आपको इनवाइट कर लेता हूं सर।
करिए 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 करिए।
आज के कार्यक्रम के मुख्य अतिथि माननीय प्रोफेसर श्री SP सिंह बघेल जी, केंद्रीय मत्स्य पालन पशुपालन एवं डेयरी राज्य मंत्री भारत सरकार, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री कमिश्नर डॉक्टर अभिजीत मित्रा जी, विभिन्न राज्यों के एनिमल हस्बेंड्री डायरेक्टर्स, यहाँ उपस्थित एवं ऑनलाइन जुड़े सभी संयुक्त निदेशकगण, रीजनल स्टेशन इंचार्जेस, विभागाध्यक्ष, समस्त वैज्ञानिकगण, प्रेस एवं मीडिया के प्रतिनिधिगण, देवियों और सज्जनों, आज के इस शुभ अवसर पर मैं आप सभी को सहृदय स्वागत एवं हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूं। महोदय, पशु विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में इस प्रमुख संस्थान की स्थापना 1889 में पुणे महाराष्ट्र में की गई थी। संस्थान 135 वर्ष से 3 कैंपस, 3 रीजनल स्टेशन के माध्यम से देश के किसानों की आजीविका को सुधारने में निरंतर प्रयासरत है। देश में पशु विज्ञान अनुसंधान की नई दिशा देने की श्रृंखला में जो हमारे 4 रीजनल स्टेशन कैंपस डिवीजन पूर्व में कार्यरत थे, उन्हें CIARI पोर्ट ब्लेयर, CIRG मखदूम, CARI इज्जतनगर तथा निषाद भोपाल के रूप में इंडिपेंडेंट इंस्टीट्यूट का दर्जा दिया गया है। मानव संसाधन के क्षेत्र में ICR के एनिमल साइंस डिवीजन के अंतर्गत 19 एनिमल साइंस इंस्टीट्यूट में से 13 इंस्टीट्यूट के वर्तमान निदेशक, एनिमल हस्बेंड्री कमिश्नर, 3 ADG IVRI के ही एलुमनाई हैं। संस्थान के 586 एलुमनाई 29 एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी, वेटनरी यूनिवर्सिटी, सेंट्रल एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी में विभिन्न पदों पर कार्यरत हैं। इसमें 22 चांसलर एवं डीन और रजिस्ट्रार के पद भी शामिल हैं। महोदय, इस इंस्टीट्यूट ने 236 MOU के माध्यम से, जिसमें 5 अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संस्थाओं के साथ विभिन्न कृषि एवं पशु चिकित्सा विद्यालयों, उद्यमियों, सरकारी एजेंसी, NGOs, स्टार्टअप तथा अन्य संस्थानों को रिसर्च, टीचिंग एवं एक्सटेंशन के क्षेत्र में सहयोग प्रदान किया है। ये ISO सर्टिफाइड संस्थान 6 के अंतर्गत 6 संयुक्त निदेशालय, 47 डिवीजन एवं सेक्शन है, जिसमें 185 वैज्ञानिक, सहित 914 कर्मचारी कार्यरत हैं। आईवीआरआई के पास वर्तमान में 3,919 एकड़ लैंड है। संस्थान को भारत में प्रयोग किए जाने वाले लगभग सभी प्रकार के पशुओं की वैक्सीन एवं डायग्नोस्टिक विकसित करने का गौरव प्राप्त है। पशुओं के प्रमुख रोगों को नियंत्रित करने के लिए 50 से अधिक लाइफ सेविंग वैक्सीन तथा डायग्नोस्टिक का विकास किया है। संस्थान द्वारा विकसित गोटपॉक्स, पीपीआर, क्लासिकल स्वाइन फीवर वैक्सीन के निरंतर उपयोग से देश को 8,500 करोड़ रुपए का वार्षिक बचत हो रही है। संस्थान ने पशुओं में होने वाली भयानक बीमारियों के उन्मूलन की दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है, जिसमें डोयूरिन, रिंडरपेस्ट, सीबीपीपी तथा अफ्रीकन हार्ट सिकनेस डिजीज ये देश से उन्मूलित हो चुकी हैं। संस्थान के 125 वर्ष के उत्कृष्ट योगदान को चिन्हित करने के लिए भारत सरकार ने 9 दिसंबर 2014 को एक विशेष डाक टिकट एवं एक विशेष डाक कवर भी जारी किया है। किसानों की आमदनी को दोगुना करने के हेतु माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने नेशनल एनिमल डिजीज कंट्रोल प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत 2019 में की थी। इस कार्यक्रम के सफलतापूर्वक क्रियान्वयन में वैक्सीन, डायग्नोस्टिक के विकास एवं क्वालिटी टेस्टिंग में संस्थान की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। संस्थान द्वारा वैक्सीन डायग्नोस्टिक बनाने के लिए 12 सीड कल्चर, एंटीजन एंटीसीरम की 21 स्टेट बायोलॉजिकल्स, 8 प्राइवेट मैन्युफैक्चर तथा अन्य संस्थानों को केवल आईवीआरआई द्वारा ही प्रदान की जाती हैं। विभिन्न राज्यों में पशुओं एवं पक्षियों में होने वाले रोगों के आउटब्रेक अटेंड करना, डायग्नोसिस करना एवं नेशनल एडवाइजरी देने का कार्यक्रम कैडरेट द्वारा किया जाता है, जो इस संस्थान की प्रमुख संस्था है। संस्थान ने 106 पेटेंट, डिजाइन, कॉपीराइट प्राप्त हो चुके हैं और 13 वैक्सीन सहित 47 टेक्नोलॉजी को 160 इंडस्ट्री को कमर्शलाइज किया जा चुका है, जिससे कुल 18.5 करोड़ रुपए का रेवेन्यू अर्जित किया है। इसके अतिरिक्त आईवीआरआई ने 84 आईसीटी टूल भी विकसित की हैं, जो 134 देशों में 4.7 लाख से अधिक लोगों द्वारा उपयोग किए जा रहे हैं। संस्थान में एजुकेशन एवं ट्रेनिंग का कार्य वर्ष 1900 में आरंभ हुआ। इसके बाद यूजीसी ने 16 नवंबर 1983 को आईवीआरआई को सम विश्वविद्यालय का दर्जा दिया। ये संस्थान बीबीएससी, बीटेक, 22 विषयों में मास्टर, 18 विषयों में पीएचडी एवं 10 विषयों में नेशनल डिप्लोमा प्रदान करता है। वर्तमान में इस सम विश्वविद्यालय द्वारा 239 एमबीएससी, 162 पीएचडी, 60 बीबीएससी, 20 बीटेक छात्रों को प्रत्येक वर्ष प्रवेश दिया जाता है तथा 59 छात्र शिक्षारत हैं, जो देश के 28 प्रदेशों एवं 3 केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों से है। अब तक ये संस्थान 5,500 बीबीएससी, एमबीएससी, पीएचडी की डिग्री एवं 2,400 नेशनल डिप्लोमा प्रदान कर मानव संसाधन में के विकास में सराहनीय योगदान देता रहा है। आईवीआरआई शिक्षा 2020 को लागू करने की दिशा में 2 वर्षों से 9 डिग्री प्रोग्राम, 22 पीजी डिप्लोमा, 68 सर्टिफिकेट वोकेशनल कोर्स, 70 वैल्यू एडिशन कोर्स, 5 ओडीएल कोर्स शुरू किए गए हैं। एनईपी 2020 को लागू करने के लिए आरएनडी एंड क्वालिटी कंट्रोल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आगामी 5 वर्षों में विकसित करने के लिए आईवीआरआई प्रतिबद्ध है। इसके अतिरिक्त महत्वपूर्ण 5 लैब का एनुअल एक्विजिशन की प्रक्रिया पूर्ण कर ली जाएगी। देश में स्थित सफारी, टाइगर रिजर्व एंड रेस्क्यू सेंटर को पशुओं के स्वास्थ्य की देखभाल के लिए परामर्श एवं दिशा निर्देश संस्थान के वन्य जीव द्वारा दी जाती है। संस्थान ने वृंदावनी गाय, लैंडली सूकर 2 नस्लों को विकसित किया है एवं बकरी और सूकर की 2 नस्लों को रोहिलखंडी एवं घुर्रा नाम के पिग से राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर पंजीकृत किया है। संस्थान द्वारा 18 वैक्सीन सहित 64 टेक्नोलॉजी को एग्री इनोवेट को कमर्शलाइजेशन के लिए दिया जा चुका है। साथ ही संस्थान ने कुल 35 स्टार्टअप का भी विकास किया है। संस्थान द्वारा प्रशिक्षित 2015 उद्यमियों ने अपने उद्यम शुरू किए हैं या उद्यमों का विकास किया है। हम माननीय मंत्री प्रोफेसर श्री SP सिंह बघेल जी के आभारी हैं एवं हार्दिक धन्यवाद देते हैं, जिन्होंने संस्थान के मार्गदर्शन एवं आशीर्वाद के लिए बहुमूल्य समय निकाला। आशा करते हैं कि भविष्य में भी आपका मार्गदर्शन एवं आशीर्वाद इस संस्थान को मिलता रहेगा। साथ ही डॉक्टर अभिजीत मित्रा जी एवं विभिन्न राज्यों के एनिमल हस्बेंड्री डायरेक्टर्स को भी इस इंटरफेस मीट में भाग लेने के लिए हार्दिक धन्यवाद देते हैं। मैं आशा करता हूं कि ये इंटरफेस मीट देश के पशुपालन क्षेत्र की समस्याओं के समाधान और इस क्षेत्र के समग्र विकास के लिए भविष्य की रणनीतियों तय करने के लिए महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाएगी। आप सभी का पुनः धन्यवाद। हम माननीय मंत्री जी के अत्यंत आभारी हैं, जिन्होंने अपना बहुमूल्य समय निकालकर हमें मार्गदर्शन एवं आशीर्वाद देने का समय निकाला। धन्यवाद। अब हम माननीय मंत्री जी से आग्रह करते हैं कि हमारे संस्थान के फैकल्टी, ज्वाइंट डायरेक्टर्स एवं देश के विभिन्न राज्यों से जुड़े हमारे डायरेक्टर्स महोदय आपके आशीर्वचन के लिए इंतजार कर रहे हैं। हम आशा करते हैं कि आपके आशीर्वचन हम सब लोगों के लिए अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण साबित होंगे। धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार। मेरा सौभाग्य है कि ICAR इंडियन वेटरनरी रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट के द्वारा फर्स्ट फॉलोअप ऑल इंडिया स्टेट एनिमल हस्बेंड्री डायरेक्टर्स इंटरफेस मीट 2025, जो कि एडवांस इन एनिमल हेल्थ एंड प्रोडक्शन के ऊपर आज आप लोग बैठे हैं, उसमें मित्रा जी, अभिजीत मित्रा जी और संस्थान के निदेशक डॉक्टर त्रिवेणी दत्त जी, संस्थान के समस्त ज्वाइंट डायरेक्टर, सम्मानित हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट्स, वैज्ञानिक गण, ऑनलाइन माध्यम से जुड़े हुए विभिन्न राज्यों के एनिमल हस्बेंड्री डायरेक्टर्स एवं इस इंटरफेस मीट में भाग लेने वाले देवी एवं सज्जनों, मैं माफी चाहूंगा। श्री राजनाथ सिंह अब से कुछ मिनट पहले थे, मैं आपकी इस मीटिंग की वजह से उनको सी ऑफ करने भी नहीं गया, इसलिए माफी चाहूंगा। थोड़ा विलंब से जुड़ा हूँ और आपके बहुमूल्य विचार नहीं सुन पा रहे। मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्या?
यस सर, यस आ रही है सर।
जी। भारतीय पशु चिकित्सा अनुसंधान संस्थान द्वारा आयोजित इस महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में भाग लेने का मुझे अवसर प्राप्त हुआ है और अभी डायरेक्टर साहब ने जो गौरवशाली इतिहास है संस्थान का, वैक्सीनेशन से लेके डिजीज कंट्रोल से लेके दूध उत्पादन से लेके एनिमल वेलफेयर से लेकर जो कितने डॉक्टर्स पास आउट हुए हैं, कितनी PhD हुई हैं, कितने वैज्ञानिक बने हैं, कहाँ कहाँ वो लोग पोस्ट हुए हैं, उनका क्या रोल रहा है, उसके बारे में विस्तार से बताया और इस संस्था पर हमारे विभाग को नाज है और मुझे व्यक्तिगत, इसलिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ। भारतीय अनुसंधान चिकित्सा संस्थान को दुनिया भर में पशु चिकित्सा क्षेत्र में एक विशिष्ट स्थान प्राप्त है। संस्थान ने विभिन्न, हालांकि जो आपने कहा वही मैं उस पर मोहर लगा रहा हूँ, संस्थान ने विभिन्न पशु रोगों से बचाव हेतु प्रभावशाली टीके एवं नैदानिकों के विकास, पशुओं में आनुवंशिक सुधार, पशु पोषण एवं पशुजन्य खाद्य पदार्थों के प्रसंस्करण एवं मूल्य संवर्धन के क्षेत्र में बहुत ही सराहनीय कार्य किए हैं। संस्थान ने पशुपालन क्षेत्र के समग्र विकास में उल्लेखनीय योगदान दिया है और समाज के सबसे गरीब वर्ग को भोजन और पोषण सुरक्षा प्रदान करने में आपका प्रशंसनीय कार्य है। संस्थान ने पशुओं की कुछ भयावह बीमारियों जैसे रिंडरपेस्ट, TBPP, अफ्रीकन हॉर्स सिकनेस तथा डोरिन रोगों के उन्मूलन में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। इतना ही नहीं, वर्तमान में हो रहे खुरपका, मुंहपका, ब्रुसोलिस, बकरी महामारी, एवं सूकर ज्वर जैसे रोगों को रोकथाम में संस्थान का प्रशंसनीय योगदान रहा है। हमें ज्ञात हुआ है कि भारत सरकार के पशुपालन विभाग द्वारा चलाई जा रही महत्वाकांक्षी योजनाएं नेशनल एनिमल डिजीज कंट्रोल प्रोग्राम NADCP में ब्रुसिलोसिस, क्लासिकल स्वाइन फीवर, PPR और खुरपका मुंहपका जैसे महत्वपूर्ण रोगों के खिलाफ होने वाले टीकों का विकास भी इसी संस्थान में हुआ है। ये मुझे बहुत सुनकर अच्छा लगा। साथ ही देश में निर्मित पशुओं के टीकों की गुणवत्ता परीक्षण की जिम्मेदारी भी इसी संस्थान को दी गई है, जिसको आप बहुत अच्छी तरीके से निभा रहे हैं। आज हम सब वन हेल्थ अवधारणा की बात कर रहे हैं, जिसमें पशु स्वास्थ्य, मानव स्वास्थ्य, जलवायु स्वास्थ्य को समग्र रूप से संबोधित करने की परिकल्पना है, जिसके अंतर्गत पशुओं से मनुष्यों में फैलने वाले रोकथाम की मुख्य भूमिका है। आपने देखा होगा G20 में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा था वन नेशन वन हेल्थ। वन नेशन वन हेल्थ केवल एनिमल इंसानों को लेकर नहीं है, हम तो सर्वे भवन्तु सुखना, सर्वे संतु निरामया वाले लोग हैं, और उसमें हम मानव भवन्तु सुखना नहीं कहते हैं, और हम तो चर अचर सबके सुख की कल्पना करते हैं। मुझे ज्ञात हुआ कि संस्थान ब्रुसेला, कोरोना विषाणु, जापानी मस्तिष्क ज्वर जैसी समस्याओं के हल खोजने की दिशा में उन्नत शोध कार्य कर रहे हैं। दिन प्रतिदिन उभरते नए पशुजनित रोग एक जटिल समस्या है एवं उसके विरुद्ध प्रभावी टीके तथा नैदानिकों के विकास के लिए पूरा देश इस संस्थान से उम्मीद कर रहा है। किसानों की आय में आशातीत वृद्धि करने के लिए कृषि के साथ साथ पशुपालन, डेयरी, मत्स्य पालन आदि संबंधित क्षेत्रों का महत्व बढ़ा है, और आप जैसे संस्थानों की ताकत के बल पर ही प्रधानमंत्री ने किसानों की आय को दुगनी करने का जो एक वचन दिया है, वो पशुपालन, मछली पालन, मुर्गी पालन, सुअर पालन, बकरी पालन, मधुमक्खी पालन, फूलों की खेती, फलों की खेती, जैविक खेती, प्राकृतिक खेती, ड्रिप इरिगेशन, स्प्रिंकलर इरिगेशन, औषधि खेती और फूलों की खेती के अनुसार के आधार पर ही आय को दोगुना करने का आश्वस्त किया है, जिसमें संस्थान की बड़ी भूमिका रहेगी। किसानों की आय में जो वृद्धि हो रही है वो उन्नत किस्म के पशुपालन के द्वारा भी हो रही है। हमें इन क्षेत्रों की क्षमताओं का पूर्णतः उपयोग करने की तरफ ध्यान केंद्रित करने की आवश्यकता है। अगर किसान कृषि के साथ पशुपालन सम्मिलित खेती प्रणाली को अपनाएंगे तब भी उनका मुनाफा बढ़ेगा एवं आय में वृद्धि होगी। भारत में पशुपालन और पशुधन क्षेत्र का सकल घरेलू उत्पाद GDP में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। ये क्षेत्र किस लगभग 30% प्रदान करता है। कुल राष्ट्रीय GDP में इसका योगदान लगभग 4 से 5% है। पशुधन क्षेत्र ने न केवल ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था को मजबूत किया, बल्कि किसानों और भूमिहीन मजदूरों के लिए एक सतत आय का स्रोत भी प्रदान किया है। इस समय हमारे वेटनेरियंस पशुगणना में लगे हैं। भारत में 20वीं पशुगणना 2019 में की गई, जिसके अनुसार देश में कुल पशुधन की संख्या 535.78 मिलियन दर्ज की गई है, जो 2012 की तुलना में 4.6% अधिक है। इस गणना में गायों की संख्या 145.12 मिलियन, भैंसों की 109.85 मिलियन, बकरियों की 148.88 मिलियन और भेड़ों की संख्या 74.26 मिलियन दर्ज की गई है। मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि इस पशु गणना को अगर हम गंभीरता से करेंगे तब भी हम योजना आयोग से हम वैक्सीनेशन के लिए अथवा चारे के लिए अथवा एनिमल वेलफेयर के लिए अथवा डॉक्टरों की नियुक्ति के लिए अथवा नए वेटनरी कॉलेज के लिए अथवा एक दो संस्था और ICAR के साथ एनिमल हस्बेंड्री की अथवा पोल्ट्री की अथवा फिशरीज की बढ़ानी पड़े, तो इसी हम पशु गणना के आधार पर ही मांग पाएंगे। मुझे लग रहा है कि आप बहुत महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर हैं, तो आप जिसको जानते हैं वो मैं आपको नहीं सुनाना चाहता। मुझे विभाग ने एक अच्छा सा काफी वेटनरी के क्षेत्र में केंद्र सरकार की योजनाओं के बारे में, राष्ट्रीय गोकुल मिशन के बारे में, और ये जो डिजीज कंट्रोल है इसके बारे में, सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमन के बारे में, एम्ब्रियो ट्रांसप्लांट के बारे में, राष्ट्रीय पशु रोग नियंत्रण कार्यक्रम के एक डिटेल नोट मुझे दिया है। तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप अब इसके महत्व को अच्छी तरह जानते हैं, लेकिन मैं मूल रूप से अपनी आत्मा से केवल ये बात करना चाहूंगा कि ना तो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कहा है कि किसानों की आय को दुगना करना है, तो मुझे लगता है कि पैदावार दुगनी नहीं हो सकती और MSP भी दुगनी नहीं हो सकती। फिर दुगना आखिर कैसे होगा? और खेती से अगर दुगना हो रहा होता या खेती लाभकारी होती तो देश खरबपतियों और अरबपतियों का देश होता है। खेती हमारी तब है जब अति वर्षा, अनावर्षा, बेमौसम की वर्षा, ओले पाले कोहरा, जंगली जानवर और निराश्रित गौवंश से बच पाए तब खेती हमारी है। एक फसल होती है अथवा दो होती है, कहीं कहीं तीन हो पाती है, और ऐसे में प्राकृतिक विपदा में वो चली गई तो हमारी तरह सरकारी नौकरी नहीं है कि एक तारीख को तनख्वाह मिले। प्रधानमंत्री ने आप जैसी संस्थाओं की ताकत के बल पर, आपके अनुसंधान के बल पर, आपकी पूर्व इतिहास के बल पर आप इस देश में श्वेत क्रांति लाई है। अगर हरित क्रांति आई है तो श्वेत क्रांति, ब्लू नीली क्रांति, वो आपकी दम पर आई है। तो किसान तो मेहनत कर ही रहा था, लेकिन जो लैब से लैंड तक आपने अपनी रिसर्च को पहुंचाया है और हमारे वेटरियंस ने जो फील्ड वर्क किया है, उसकी बदौलत आज हम श्वेत क्रांति ऑपरेशन फ्लड कर पाए हैं। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि आज 500 ग्राम से ऊपर दूध हिस्से में आता है, जबकि भारत में कहा जाता है कि दूध की नदियां बहती थी। कब बहती थी? हम लोगों को तो टर्न वाइज दूध मिलता था घर में, सोमवार को किसी को, मंगल को किसी भाई को, बुधवार को किसी भाई को। आज हम एक्सपोर्ट भी कर रहे हैं। बस एक है कि एफएमटी मुक्त भारत जो प्रधानमंत्री का सपना है, उसमें आपका संस्थान बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभा सकता है, और आपके एनिमल हस्बेंड्री के डायरेक्टर्स। तो फिर हमें भाव सही मिलेगा और हमारा दूध का निर्यात होगा। तो जब तक किसान खेती के साथ साथ उन्नत किस्म का पशुपालन, मैं पशुपालन बोलते ही नहीं हूँ, जैसे मैं ये भी नहीं कहता हूँ, बाबा साहब ने कहा था शिक्षित बनो, संगठित रहो, संघर्ष करो। मैं कहता हूँ क्या शिक्षित बनो। ऐसे ही पशुपालन से काम नहीं चलेगा। ये बुंदेलखंड की जो गोबरी गाय हैं, जो गोबर ही देती हैं, अथवा चाय वाली गाय हैं, अब इनसे नहीं किसान की आय दुगनी होगी। हमें अपनी ब्रीड इंप्रूव करनी ही पड़ेगी। तो उन्नत किस्म का पशुपालन, मछली पालन, मुर्गी पालन, जो हमारा ही विभाग देखता है, सब सुअर पालन, बकरी पालन, मधुमक्खी पालन के द्वारा, और हम लागत कम करें तो ड्रिप इरिगेशन, स्प्रिंकलर इरिगेशन, और फूलों की खेती, फलों की खेती, औषधि खेती। और अब लोग अपने स्वास्थ्य के प्रति जागरूक हैं, इसलिए प्राकृतिक खेती का उत्पादन और ऑर्गेनिक खेती के उत्पादन को वो ध्यान दे रहे हैं। तो मेरा जो बहुत इच्छा है कि दूध की नदियां केवल एक फार्मूले से बह सकती हैं, वो मुहावरा हो सकता है, ये हकीकत है। क्या? कृत्रिम गर्भाधान के द्वारा यदि किसान सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमन से अपनी गर्भ गाय का गर्भ धारण कराएंगे, तो 5 साल में लगभग हर पशुपालक किसान के घर पर एक उन्नत किस्म की बछिया होगी, जिसमें 90% फीमेल ही पैदा होती हैं, जो थार पारकर की होगी, या हरियाणवी की होगी, या गिर की होगी, अथवा हमारी साहिवाल की होगी। इस सड़क साफ साड़ का बच्चा नहीं होगा। नंबर 2 बात, बछिया पैदा होगी तो 8-10 साल किसान के खूंटे पे रहेगी और गर्भ धारण करेगी, दूध देगी। फिर उनके बच्चे भी सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमन से होंगे, तो फिर 90% बछिया ही पैदा होगी। समय का चक्र इतनी जल्दी बदलेगा, इसकी तो मैंने कल्पना भी नहीं की थी। जब हम छोटे थे तो बछड़ा पैदा होने पर माँ मिठाई बंटवाती थी। सोहर के गीत रात को ढोलक पे गाए जाते थे, जैसे बच्चे के पैदा होने पर होते थे। किसी का त्योहार खोटा हो जाता था, माने कोई मृत्यु हो जाती थी, तो गाय का बछड़ा पैदा होने पर, बछिया पैदा होने पर नहीं, बछड़ा पैदा होने पर त्योहार ठीक हो जाता था। और हम लोग इतने गरीब थे, और बैल हमेशा महंगा रहा है, जिसकी आज कोई कीमत नहीं है। मेरी 64 साल की उम्र में इतना परिवर्तन आएगा, मैंने नहीं सोचा था। कि हम पर एक बैल होता था, 2 नहीं होते थे, तो हम पड़ोसी के बैल के साथ अपने खेत जोतते थे, और अपने बैल से उसके रमैती कहते थे, एक बैल उसका एक हमारा। फिर एक बैल हमारा, सामने वाला गरीब है तो एक भैंसा उसका। फिर एक भैंसा हमारा तो एक भैंसा उसका। फिर एक भैंसा सामने वाले पे भैंसा नहीं है, तो वो पड़िया जो गर्भ नहीं धारण करती थी, उसकी भी नाक में नाक डाल करके हमने हल चलाने का काम किया है। साहित्य समाज का दर्पण होता है, मदर इंडिया में बेचारी नरगिस अपने कंधे पर हल रख करके खेत जानते होंगे कि दाएं हम लोग करते थे, गेहूं को जमीन में डाल के और खुरों से क्रश करते थे। तो अब ट्रैक्टर के आने से हल गायब हो गया, बैलगाड़ी गायब हो गई, इंजन के आने से रहट गायब हो गई, क्रेशर के आने से कोलू गायब हो गया, और थ्रेसर के आने से दाएं गायब हो गई। तो बछड़ा हमारा यूजलेस है, इसलिए वो प्राइसलेस हो गया है। इस देश में पोमेरियन कुत्ते की कीमत 5,000 हो सकती है, लेकिन बछड़े की कीमत -500 है। क्योंकि हमारे बछड़े को कोई ले जाना चाहे तो हम 500 रुपये और दे सकते हैं। तो अब इसका निदान क्या है, ये तो कारण बताया। अच्छा, किसान स्वयं में अपने आप में एक अर्थशास्त्री होता है। वो अपने लघु सीमांत किसानों का देश है। अपनी 5 बीघे खेत को 2 बार जोतने के लिए वो 365 दिन 2 बैल क्यों रखे? बैल रहेंगे तो 365 दिन 2 बार सानी खाएंगे, और हम वो ट्रैक्टर बुलाएंगे तो घंटे के हिसाब से या एकड़ के हिसाब से बुला लेंगे, शेष दिनों में हमारा खर्चा नहीं होगा। इसलिए उम्मीद मत करिएगा आप कि बैल दोबारा आने की कोई ज्यादा संभावना है, क्योंकि खेत छोटे होते जा रहे हैं। तो फिर हमें बछड़ा पैदा ही ना होने दें। इसलिए किसानों से कहना पड़ेगा कि आप एआई करवाएं और सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमेंट का इस्तेमाल करें। और एमबीओ ट्रांसप्लांट की तरफ अगर संस्थान बड़ी संख्या में जाता है तो मुझे बहुत खुशी होगी। तो दूध की नदियां लिख के दे सकता हूं कि आने वाले 5 साल में, क्योंकि मैं जब यूपी का वेटनरी मिनिस्टर था, तो एनिमल हस्बेंड्री मिनिस्टर था, तो मैंने देखा कि 2700 में से 22 या 2300 बछिया पैदा हुई थी, माने 90% रिजल्ट है। तो सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमन की लैब को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, लेकिन किसान को कहना पड़ेगा कि भैया गर्भ धारण गाय का कराएं तो हमारे सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमन से कराएं। और ये विभिन्न राज्यों के जो एनिमल सॉरी हमारे डायरेक्टर्स एनिमल हस्बेंड्री के जो बैठे हैं, तो वो थोड़ी छोटी सेमिनार करके अपने किसानों को ये बताएं कि एआई से 90% बछिया ही पैदा होती है। ये 2-3 डोज में गर्भ धारण हो जाएगा। उसकी कीमत वैसे नेशनल डेयरी डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड इस दिशा में कुछ सब्सिडी भी दे, सब्सिडाइज डोज दे रहा है। ये 300-400 रुपए में गर्भ धारण कर ले गाय, तो बछिया पैदा होगी तो गारंटी है 10, 12, 15, 25, 50 हजार की होगी। और नंदी महाराज पैदा होंगे तो उनकी कोई कीमत नहीं होगी। तो मैं इसी पे थोड़ा कहना चाहूंगा कि सभी एनिमल हमारे हस्बेंड्री के डायरेक्टर साहिबान, एक और आपसे अनुरोध करना चाहता हूँ। थोड़ा मेरा भाषण बड़ा हो रहा है कि जब हम छोटे थे, गांव में रहते थे, तो बैल बनाते थे, जिसको बैल बनाना होता था तो उसको बधिया कर देते थे। और हम गांव में सभी पशुपालक अपने बछड़े को बधिया करना और बकरे को बधिया करना जानते थे। लेकिन कोई बड़ा आदमी जमींदार टाइप का जब समाज के लिए अपने उन्नत किस्म के अच्छे बछड़े को सांड बनाता था तो उसको नहीं करते थे। तो अब तब वो सांड बनाने वाला किसान या जमींदार को पुण्य मिलता था, क्योंकि मेरा बड़ा भाई गाय के हिट आने पर रस्सी पकड़ के आगे और हम डंडा लेके पीछे विभिन्न गांवों में सांड को ढूंढते थे, और सांड की लोकेशन नहीं मिलती थी। आज ये पाप का काम है जो लोग अपने बछड़े को बधिया नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो मैं आपसे यही निर्देश करना चाहूंगा। मैं जब मिनिस्टर था तो एक आपको एपरेटस भी अवेलेबल कराया था। जब आप एफएमडी करने जाते हैं, वैक्सीनेशन के लिए साल में 2 बार आप जाते ही हैं। अब मैं वेटनरियन नहीं हूँ कि कितनी उम्र में उसका हो जाएगा, लेकिन आप कोशिश करिएगा कि उस समय जब गाय के
मंत्री जी की तरफ।
चलेगा।
थोड़ी नेट की प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, मुझे इतनी बात कहनी थी। तो एक तो ये हल्का सा सुझाव था कि हमारे वेटनेरियंस जब एफएमडी करने जाएं या अन्य काम के लिए या बीमार पशु को देखने जाएं, तो उस योग्य जो बधियाकरण के बच्चे हैं उनका बधियाकरण भी करके आ जाए। और एफएमडी मुक्त भारत बनाने में हम सब लोग मिलकर सहयोग करें। आप आज टॉप वैज्ञानिक लोग, संस्थान के बहुत लोग वैज्ञानिक जुड़े हैं, ज्वाइंट डायरेक्टर जुड़े हैं। मैं इस विभाग का राज्य मंत्री होने के नाते इस सेमिनार की सफलता की कामना करता हूँ, और इस वैचारिक मंथन से जो अमृत निकलेगा वो निश्चित ही पशुओं के कल्याण के लिए, पशुओं की ब्रीड इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए, दुग्ध उत्पादन में वृद्धि के लिए और रोग नियंत्रण में वो सहायक होगी। मैं एक बार उधर से आवाज नहीं आ रही।
आज के कार्यक्रम में माननीय मंत्री जी की गरिमामय उपस्थिति और उनके आशीष वचनों के लिए हम अपनी गहरी कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करते हैं। और इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं वैज्ञानिक अनुज चौहान से निवेदन करता हूं कि वे धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव पारित करें।
इस संस्थान के लिए अत्यंत हर्ष और गौरव का विषय है कि पशु स्वास्थ्य और उत्पादन में प्रगति विषय पर आयोजित की जा रही इस महत्वपूर्ण इंटरफेस मीटिंग के उपलक्ष्य पर हमें मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में माननीय मत्स्य पालन, पशुपालन और डेयरी राज्य मंत्री भारत सरकार प्रोफेसर श्री SP बघेल साहब का सानिध्य प्राप्त है। माननीय महोदय, अपने व्यस्तम कार्यक्रम के बावजूद हमारे निमंत्रण को सहर्ष स्वीकार कर इस कार्यक्रम की गरिमा और गौरव बढ़ाने तथा अपने प्रेरणादायक उद्बोधन एवं आशीर्वचनों के लिए एक सफल हृदय से आपका आभार व्यक्त करती है। महोदय, पशुओं के स्वास्थ्य, उत्पाद एवं उत्पादकता, किसान केंद्रित समाधान विकसित करने के महत्व पर तथा किसान की आय बढ़ाने के संदर्भ में तथा सांस्कृतिक महत्व को ध्यान रखते हुए रणनीतियां, योजना और भविष्य के लक्ष्यों को समेटे आपके वक्तव्य ने इस मीटिंग में गहन विमर्श की दिशा निर्धारित की है। महोदय, कृत्रिम गर्भाधान को बढ़ाने, सेक्स सॉर्टेज सीमन और आईबॉट जैसी बेहतर प्रजनन तकनीकों के विषय में आपकी दूरगामी सोच और नियमित टीकाकरण के माध्यम से अफीम मुक्त की स्थिति हासिल करने पर जो आपने जोर दिया है वो निश्चित ही एक महत्वपूर्ण मील का पत्थर इस देश के लिए साबित होगा। महोदय, लघु सीमांत किसान की जरूरतें, उन्नत नस्ल का पशुपालन, पशु जनगणना और खासकर पशुपालन विभाग के लिए कारगर बजटीकरण पर आपके वक्तव्य निश्चित ही इस प्रकार को लाभान्वित करेंगे। महोदय, आपकी आकांक्षाओं के अनुरूप पशुपालन क्षेत्र की विभिन्न उभरती समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए यह संस्थान नवीनतम प्रौद्योगिकी के विकास करने हेतु प्रतिबद्ध है तथा इसी दिशा में हम आशान्वित हैं कि भविष्य में भी आज की तरह हमें आपका निरंतर मार्गदर्शन प्राप्त होता रहेगा। महोदय, आपको पुनः धन्यवाद। इस कड़ी में मैं पशुपालन आयुक्त एवं अध्यक्ष भारतीय जीव जंतु कल्याण बोर्ड डॉक्टर अभिजीत मित्रा सर को भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ अपनी मातृ संस्थान में अपनी उपस्थिति इस कार्यक्रम में दर्ज करने के लिए। महोदय, आपके सभी उपलब्धियों पर यह संस्थान गौरवान्वित महसूस करता है और पशु रोग टीकाकरण, वन हेल्थ तथा के विषय में आपके द्वारा किए जा रहे कार्य को यह संस्थान सराहता है। मैं धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करता हूँ संस्थान के निदेशक एवं कुलपति डॉक्टर त्रिवेणी दत्त सर को, जिनके नेतृत्व, मार्गदर्शन और दूरदर्शिता में संस्थान के शोध, शिक्षा एवं प्रसार कार्यों की दिशा तय करने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। आपके नेतृत्व में संस्थान विभिन्न औद्योगिक घरानों, पशुपालन विभागों, कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रों और पशुपालन से जुड़े और विभागों के साथ एक प्रभावी संपर्क और आउटरीच प्रणाली स्थापित की है, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप संस्थान की विभिन्न शोध परियोजनाओं को हितधारकों की आवश्यकताओं और राष्ट्रीय लक्ष्यों के अनुरूप प्राथमिकता तय कर अब कार्यान्वित किया जा रहा है। महोदय, धन्यवाद आपको संस्थान की उपलब्धियों के मुख्य अतिथि तथा सभा को अवगत कराने के लिए, और भविष्य में भी आपके मार्गदर्शन में हम बड़ी उपलब्धियों की ओर अग्रसर रहेंगे। हम धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करते हैं इस इंटरफेस मीटिंग के अहम भागीदार राज्य पशुपालन विभागों के सभी निदेशक एवं अधिकारियों का, जो पशुधन और कुक्कुट विकास से संबंधित राज्य की नीतियों को कार्यान्वित करते हैं। उनके माध्यम से पशुपालकों की समस्याओं और आवश्यकताओं को बेहतर रूप से समझने और संस्थान में विकसित नवीन तकनीकों और विभिन्न पशुपालन पद्धतियों को किसानों तक पहुंचाने का अवसर उनके माध्यम से हमें प्राप्त हो रहा है। हम आशान्वित हैं इंटरफेस मीटिंग पशुपालन विभाग से हमारी साझेदारी को और मजबूत बनाएगी। इस कार्यक्रम के मुख्य सूत्रधार संयुक्त निदेशक प्रसार शिक्षा डॉक्टर रूपसी तिवारी मैडम, जिनकी देखरेख में संस्थान में अनेक सफल इंटरफेस मीट तथा प्रसार कार्यक्रम का आयोजन हो रहा है। निदेशक अनुसंधान डॉक्टर एस के सिंह, संयुक्त निदेशक शैक्षणिक डॉक्टर एस के मंदिर सर, संयुक्त निदेशक कैडरेट डॉक्टर सोहनी डे मैडम, संयुक्त निदेशक बेंगलुरु डॉक्टर पल्लव चौधरी सर, संयुक्त निदेशक मुक्तेश्वर डॉक्टर YPS मलिक सर, सभी क्षेत्रीय सेशनों के प्रमुख अध्यक्ष तथा वैज्ञानिकों को अपना बहुमूल्य समय देने और इस महत्वपूर्ण संवाद बैठक में भाग देने के लिए हार्दिक धन्यवाद। अंत में आयोजन समिति के सभी सदस्यों का धन्यवाद, जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम की योजना बनाने से लेकर उसकी पूर्णता तक हर छोटे बड़े काम का ध्यान रखा। आपकी मेहनत, समर्पण और टीम वर्क की बदौलत यह कार्यक्रम सफल बन पाया। मैं आप सभी को नमस्कार और माननीय मंत्री जी को स्वागत।
धन्यवाद सर. Now I again hand over the proceeding to the Dr. S.K. Singh sir to continue the technical section 1.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit. I think Dr. Khan, is there anything left in your lecture? Yes. Yeah. So now again we are moving to the final lecture. Technology. Yeah, we are moving towards the final outcome of our extensive R&D. It is development of the technology. So now I request Dr. Bablu Kumar present a brief profile technology portfolio of our institute.
हमारी स्लाइड्स है, उसके बाद इंटरेक्शन शुरू हो जाएगा, उसी में इंटरेक्शन हो जाएगा।
ऊपर
Hello. So good afternoon, Honorable Director IVRI, Tivinda sir, all the joint directors of the main campus and the regional station, head of the divisions, station in charges, Director of Animal Husbandry Department. So it is a matter of great pleasure for me to present a brief technology profile of the institute. IBRI has always been at the forefront to develop the technology related to animal health and production. And for the ease of understanding, I have divided this technology into different categories that ranges from vaccine, diagnostics, therapeutics, feed technology, livestock product technology, to several designs of surgery and animal reproduction, and some of the miscellaneous technology and the copyrights and ICT tools. This number, we are quite satisfying in the numbers. It has already been described by Honorable Director sir also. So in the numbers, we have already got 34 patents out of 99 filed, 25 design registered out of 34 filed, 46 copyright out of 51 filed. That has led to the revenue generation of more than 18 crores, and 47 technology have been already been commercialized to 160 organizations, and 64 have been assigned to Agri Innovate. Starting from the vaccine technology, vaccine has always been at the forefront of this institute in terms of the accomplishment of this institute, because it has led to the significant reduction of many diseases from this country. And it will not be a hyperbolic statement when I say that most of the vaccine used in the livestock has been developed at this institute, either in the form of technology or in the form of seed culture. So in terms of number, 13 vaccines have already been commercialized, 8 has been patented, and 18 has been assigned to Agri Innovate. So for the better understanding, we'll start with the vaccines of cattle and buffalo. I'll just be very brief. So apart from the conventional vaccine that has already been developed in past, we'll discuss some of the latest vaccine that we are have been commercialized, and some of them they are in pipelines. So we start with the LSD vaccines. That has been a classical example of a rapid response of any scientific institute in the national exigency. The scientists from the ICAR, IVRI and the NRC, they rolled up their sleeves in the wake of the outbreak of this disease, and they developed a very potent life attenuated that lumpy disease vaccine within a record time. Similarly, the second vaccine, that is the Brucella strain 19 vaccine. In the world, there are very only except one, that is RB51, there is the unavailability of a Diva vaccine for the Brucella. So at our institute, a Diva vaccine, a Diva has been a very important parameters when we talk of the control and eradication of a disease. So Brucella abortus strain 19 vaccine has been developed at this very institute, which has capability of differentiation between the infected and vaccinated animals. Similarly, we have different vaccines for FMD that includes the inactivated vaccines and the latest generation inactivated negative marker vaccines having the DIPA capability, and as well as a thermotolerant vaccines. Thermotolerant vaccine is also the need of the hour, because in the wake of this temperature abuse, the potency of the vaccine decreases. So the thermotolerant vaccine has also been developed at this institute. Similarly, the live attenuated buffalo pox vaccine and inactivated gene related marker vaccines against the IBR has also been developed. Talking about the small ruminant vaccines, we have a number of effective vaccines that has already proven its mettle. Live attenuated PPR vaccines that is widely used since last more than 12-13 years, and they have in very effective vaccines that has led to the reduction of the PPR, and now the FAO and WHO, they are targeting this disease to eradicate by 2030, and that could not have been possible without being with us an instrument like this. Then we have also the live attenuated, that is the goat pox vaccine, sheep pox vaccine, and the negative marker PPR vaccines that is the DIVA enabled, and the thermoadapted PPR vaccines that can be used at the wide temperatures. Now we have also moved ahead about a very important aspect, that is the combination vaccines, that the combination vaccines will be the future vaccines, because it will save the time, energy, and it will include the overall vaccine coverage. So two different vaccines, that is PPR goat pox and PPR sheep pox vaccine, has already been developed at this institute. Regarding the pig vaccine, we have two important vaccines of the classical swine fever. Earlier we are using classical swine fever leponized strain. Now we have indigenous strain, and it's a very effective and high titrated vaccine that will have a very wide impact in the near futures to come. Then we have effective vaccines, inactivated vaccines for the Japanese encephalitis for pig, and aseptic pasteuriosis, there is the Pasteurella multocida from the Pasteurella multocida B2 Soron strain. And the poultry and other species, we have recently developed recombinant SPP viral particle based vaccine. And for the duck, we have developed the live attenuated duck plague vaccine. Similarly, the live attenuated camel pox, live attenuated vaccine candidate for canine distemper, and the canine parvovirus has also been developed. And these two vaccines for the canine, they have a very possibility to be used in a combination frame. So this table depicts that this technology has been disseminated to large number of commercial houses as well as the biological products unit, so that the timely vaccination coverage vaccine can be produced and the vaccination coverage can be done, so for the effective control of the disease. Similarly, this is the table that depicts the state of commercialization and transfer of this vaccine to different commercial houses. Coming to the diagnostic technology, we have also a number of diagnostic technology that is available. For example, for poultry, we have the indirect ELISA, that is the recombinant based for the Newcastle disease, infectious bursal disease, and infectious bronchitis. Then we have indirect ELISA and the comparative ELISA for the pseudo diagnosis of blue tongue, sandwich ELISA for the antigen detection of the blue tongue. We have also have the sandwich ELISA for PPR in sheep and goat. Then we have comparative ELISA for PPR in sheep and goat. Similarly, we have the IgG and IgM ELISA to detect the active as well as the late infections in the pig. Then we have synthetic peptide based rotavirus for detection of rotavirus that can detect the rotavirus infection in many species. Similarly, the blocking ELISA for the FMD. So these two diagnostic that is can be used as the multi-species for the detection of these diseases. So this table depicts the status of the commercialization of this diagnostic technology to different commercial houses. So these are the list of the animal feed and nutrition technology. We cannot think of a sustainable development of this livestock sector without the affordable feed and fodder, along with the quality nutrient to this, because many of the farmers, they are weak, they cannot afford very high costly feed. So there is a time to develop the affordable feed technologies which can take care of this nutrient requirement. So these lists of the technology, they addresses those challenges of this animal feed sector. So that is the cold pressed preparation of urea molasses, compressed feed block, urea molasses liquid diet, and the molasses based multi-nutrient liquid supplement. Then the novel supplement for cattle and buffalo in the Indo-Gangetic plain. Similarly, we also have moved ahead towards the development of a probiotic, and to address the environmental challenges, we have developed a solution in form of methlo that can reduce the methane, enteric methane emissions. These are some of the list of technology. That is the therapeutic technology. We have commercialized 7 of these technology, 6 of these technology have been patented, and 8 have been assigned to Agri-Innovate, and that includes the number of technology that is addressing some of the vexing problem like the tick problem, mastitis, and that is the we have 3 different preparations for the as a acaricide. That is the herbal acaricide, phytopharmaceutical formulations against ticks, and the herbomineral acaricides. Then there is a herbal product that ameliorates the fluorosis, anti-diarrheal herbal formulation, and we have also moved ahead to the next generation technology like mesenchymal stem cells and the biomesh scaffold for the wound healing. And we have very important technology that is a farmer friendly technology, that is the Jaygopal vermiculture, and that is produced from indigenously developed earthworm strain that is a heat resistant that can grow at very large temperature up to 46 degrees centigrade, and the fecundity of this is very high. So this has been taken up by more than 60 entrepreneurs of this country. Coming to the livestock product technology, we have already commercialized 7 technology, 3 has been patented and 7 has been assigned to Agri-Innovate. So value-added products is a now latest trend. So we have many value-added products in form of emulsion-based chicken and mutton products, meat, pickles, chips, functional meat products, vegetable incorporated meat products, chicken soup, and also the milk products like milk chips and milk nimki. So they are very potential technology for the small scale entrepreneurs. So when they are establishing their enterprise, these technology can be incorporated in their enterprise. People are getting very concerned about the quality of their products, traceability being very important issue for newer consumers nowadays, aware consumers. So the division has developed lots of technology that can identify that the animal species identification kit in form. They have the PCR. We have a PCR that can identify that adulteration of the meat. There is also plant-based indicator and the time temperature indicator that indicates that monitor the quality of meat during the supply chain. There is keratinide-based assay that can also differentiate between the ascertain the species origin of the tissue. If there is mixed, some other tissue is mixed, so they can be identified. Dye-based monitor, that is a calorie-based method to quality of meat and meat products, essential while and emulsion-based meat nuggets that has the potential to reduce the microbial infection and the enhance shelf life. So this is a technology that many of these entrepreneurs they are looking for. So these are some of the engineering designs. We have already commercialized 7 designs. To 26 they are registered, 2 patented, and 14 assigned to Agri-Innovate. That mainly includes many surgical designs that take care of the surgical conditions like fractures. These are the animal nutrition and managemental device. It is a portable device, feed block making machine, tractor driven herd animal catcher, portable Downer syndrome strain, and portable goat feeder and goat dispenser. So these are the animal reproduction technology that are also very useful technology that takes care of severe reproductive conditions like cystoscope for heat detection, fetal extractor and lubricator to relieve the dystocia. There is a device for cyst ablation, also for genital injection, semen thawing machine, preputial cleaning device, and there is ovarian cyst ablation and aspiration. So coming to the copyright and ICT tool, the institute has developed a lot number of mobile apps, that is the repository of knowledge and easily accessible on the Google Play Store, which and there are some of this web app are multilinguals. So till date 21 copyright we have been filed, 46 have been already been registered, 26 mobile app in different languages, and moving ahead the 3 different AI enabled chat bots has also been developed that take care of many of the questions from the related to the animal husbandry, that is the dairy area, from the dairy, sheep and goats area, as the name indicates, for the different species. So these are now the next generation technology, that is the pool of knowledge that is going to help to the end users and the stakeholders. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Babu, for highlighting the issue technology portfolio in a very less number of times. Thank you for adhering the time. So now with this, we complete the technical session 1. So now I am having co-chairman person, Dr. Maniratta sir. Sir, any comments?
So thank you very much, Dr. S.K. Singh. So I hope that all the presentation would have been very interesting and will be of use for all the veterinarian, all the animal husbandry director. So as emphasized by the Honorable Minister and also the present central government and state government, now all the government, so they are recognizing the importance of livestock. So this is the high time when all the animal husbandry director and IVRI, they should work in a cohesive manner so that we can come up to the expectation of the government. So I hope that with all this, and also I would like to emphasize, our directors are also emphasize that IVRI is conducting series of diploma courses, certificate courses, and value-added courses. So I request all the directors to please encourage and depute your veterinarian for this upgradation of knowledge and skill. So this will be very useful for the field veterinarian. So with this, I want to thank the co-chairman and all the reporters and also directors for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So now I hand over the mic to Dr. Rupsi Madam, who is the chairperson of the technical session 2. And thank you to one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay, for the excellent technical session 1 and great lectures that we have listened to since the afternoon from very eminent speakers who have enhanced our knowledge about a number of issues related to nutrition, reproduction, AMR, and the IVRA technologies and the transboundary animal diseases. So for the knowledge of the House, since the inaugural session we could not conduct on time because of the availability of our minister, sir. So we took it up as soon as he joined with his lecture. So in this particular technical session 2, we will be talking about one of the major feature of the inaugural session that we generally take up. That is what happened last year, what were the actionable points, and what we could do to resolve those issues, and the registration from the Director of Animal Husbandry this year, and what issues they have raised. So we will be discussing that through our one slide that I will be presenting here. So for the knowledge of the House, sir, we have here at present the director and the representative of 26 states, directors, deputy directors, joint directors, additional directors, and 5 union territories. So they are representing from their places for this particular meet. So I provide a heartiest welcome to them once again, and to welcome to all our joint directors from our campuses, our head of regional stations, all the head of the divisions who are joined with us online, and all the faculty and who are present online, and all the joint directors and faculty present in this hall. So let's start with the presentation on what happened last year and what is the ATR of that. So last year, this particular interface meet was the first of its kind that we organized on September 23rd, 2023, in the presence of the then Honorable Union Minister of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Shri Purushottam Rupala ji. And the proceedings led to the generation of a number of actionable points. Next slide, please. So these were the points. Next slide, please. So I will be reading them out through the particular states, what they raised. So Bihar government talked about livestock quality management. So these are some of the researchable issues that they delved on. Although many of the things have already covered through our researches, and we are presenting here what is available with us. So in respect of livestock quality management system, already On the recommendations of various interface meets, the IVRA developed a document on package of practices for livestock and poultry health and production that is already developed and available on IVRA website, and that can be easily downloaded and seen. Goa asked for development of combination vaccines. So it is for the knowledge of the House that already IVRA has developed a number of combination vaccines like PPR sheeppox and PPR goatpox, and is in the process of development of multi-component vaccine for bovine herpes virus and brucella for large animals, and multi-component capripox vaccine with PPRV and brucella, and in future targeted CDV plus CPV also. The Himachal Pradesh and Kerala talked about rapid test for diagnosis of hemoprotozoan diseases. So a multiplex PCR assay for canine hemoprotozoan diseases has already been developed and the validation is in progress. The Karnataka state government asked for development of farmer-friendly PD kits. So already urine-based early pregnancy diagnostic kit has been developed by ICAR-CIRB. IVRA is also developing its own PD kit and it is in the process of validation and will be soon released. Then vaccine for mycoplasmosis was asked. So the research work for the development of goat mycoplasma vaccine, this has already been initiated. The Karnataka government also asked for issue of neonatal mortality in lambs and calves. So a research on calf diarrhea caused by rotavirus and coronavirus that is going on in the pathology division of IVRI, and already a package of practice has been developed for the neonatal management of the livestock, and that is available on our website. Then an issue was raised by the Karnataka government on variability of LSD virus affinity among the indigenous cattle and crossbred cattle and buffalo. So as per the available literature, both indigenous and crossbred cattle are affected with comparable disease severity. The LSDV causes mild infection in buffaloes. The Mizoram government raised the issue of development of feed resource with local available resources. So under the tribal subplan, pilot project is underway wherein they are taking up conversion of food waste into feed of pigs by ERS Kolkata Center and backyard poultry using a novel design. So once their production starts, the trial sample, they can be supplied to Mizoram through the CAU Aizawl. Then Sikkim government has raised a number of issues regarding studies on expansion of rabies virus strains. So recently at CADRED, there is an emeritus scientist project which has been approved on phylogenetic studies on rabies virus. Then rabies oral weight vaccine was demanded. So the work has already been initiated at IVRA on the rabies oral weight vaccine candidate. Popularization of ITKs from Northeast region on herbal medicine. So ERS Kolkata, that has the center has already initiated collaboration with 2 KVKs of South Sikkim and West Sikkim for documentation of various ITKs. Then development of climate resilient livestock breeds. So it is suggested that local breeds suited to the area's climate should be propagated, although ERS Kolkata has developed a design on feed housing for climate resilient interventions in pig rearing. Value addition and evaluation of shelf life of yak milk. So ERS Kolkata developed a proposal for value addition of yak-based products in collaboration with NRC on yak under our institute's NEH outreach program. Further, the LPT division is continuously doing research on the non-bovine milk, and it's also imparted a training in collaboration with NRC yak on value addition of yak-based products for the women participants of Ladakh. The Telangana government has asked for artificial intelligence and machine learning in animal disease diagnosis. A research project on AI-based diagnosis of subclinical disorders in cattle has already been taken up at LPM, division of IVRI. Then the Jammu asked for development of portal through which disease diagnosis and disease data can be uploaded. So the designing of portal for disease data sharing was discussed with Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying and with the Asian Development Bank. So attempts are there to secure suitable funding and it's in process. Next slide, please. The Kerala government asked for scientific protocols for disposal of unused vaccines. The protocols are available and these can be provided on demand by IVRA. They also suggested for pheromone-based products for tick mite vector control. So this was a good suggestion. At present, we are not doing any work on such issue, but this can be an important issue and can be taken up in future. Then bovine animal biometrics for traceability, food safety and disease control. So work on animal biometrics for identification has already been conducted at IVRI. Next slide, please. Kerala also raised these all issues like sustained release depot FMD vaccine that can provide immunity for longer periods, that is beyond 6 months. So to enhance the FMD vaccine immunity beyond 6 months, multiple research initiatives have been taken, especially by the IVRI Bengaluru campus. And these include developing advanced adjuvants in collaboration with institutions like NIAB Hyderabad, IIT Dharwad, and the University of California, San Diego, that is focusing on combination immunomodulants, TLR agonists, and indigenous oil-based systems. Additionally, a DST SERP project is exploring the role of memory T cells in neutralizing B cell epitopes in prolonging the immunity against the virus. Then they have also asked for TMR and silage with banana crop residues. So such type of advice, whenever specific demands are coming, we can provide to them. They also raised the issue about aflatoxin degrading enzyme that will lead to harmless metabolites. So project is recently initiated on assessment of herbal preparations against aflatoxicosis in broiler chicken by the Pharmacology and Toxicology Department of IVRI. Next slide, please. So the Haryana government has asked for these issues. First is development of FMD plus HS vaccine with prophylactic cover of more than 1 year. So the training on FMD vaccine production that can be provided by IVRI Bengaluru campus scientists. Development of ASF vaccine was also raised. It is being taken up by Nisad Bhopal as they have the BSL-3 facility. Then they asked for DNA testing lab for genomic selection and early bull selection for breeding. So NDDB is providing this facility on a nominal payment basis. Required germplasm and LPM expertise can be provided to scientists of genetics field for conducting research in this area. These are the ATR on the training requirements. So a number of states have provided a number of issues on which they require training. So for the knowledge of the House, already training calendar for 2024-25 is placed on IVRI website, wherein we have around 7 training calendars for various stakeholders, including veterinary officers, paravets, and a number of certificate courses for various stakeholders, farmers, and other personals that can be accessed. Apart from that, we can organize sponsored, customized training on request. Like a particular training right now is going on for 5 days from the sponsored by the Gujarat Veterinary Council for the reproductive ultrasonography and the infertility management. A few days back, and I think last month, we organized another training for the Telangana government on the AMR and the handling of the AMR. In the same way, we are organizing repeatedly a number of trainings regularly for various departments. Haryana has asked for legal aspects of feed testing. So this can be inquired from Animal Husbandry Department of the respective states. Then they have asked for testing of milk for adulterants and contaminants. So this training can be provided as per requirement to the stakeholder whenever a specific demand is coming to us through our emails or through their letters. So because these will be sponsored in nature and the modalities can be decided through the official documents. So Haryana has also asked for these particular trainings on postmortem techniques, latest technique for diagnosis of various diseases, testing of milk for adulterants, contaminants, training on FMD and HS vaccine production. So the module for training on postmortem technique that is under preparation. Apart from that, we have a number of vocational and certificate courses that are listed on our website, and customized training we can provide as per requirement. Then they have asked for design of ultra-modern vaccine production unit as per WHO GMP guidelines. So support shall be provided by the Biological Products Division as per requirement. IVRI can provide inputs as per the GMP guidelines. So these are other training requirements by Maharashtra, mechanism of vaccine efficiency testing. So regularly, the IVRI Standardization Division is providing training of vaccine QC to IVVP Pune. Odisha government has asked for training in nutrition-related aspects, so this can be provided on demand. Then the Rajasthan government has asked for capacity building programs addressing hemoprotozoal diseases in large animals. So since we have not received any specific proposal through our mail or through official document, but if that is being sent by the Rajasthan government, we can design a program for their proposal. Next slide, please. So these are the ATRs on aid in establishment of different laboratories and queries. They have also asked for their support for establishment labs. So Bihar government has asked for establishing state-level disease diagnostic laboratories. So IVRI can provide inputs for quality control labs. Then Haryana has asked for vaccine focusing on mucosal immunity. So the BM&M division of IVRI has initiated research on the bacterial subunit-based live attenuated vaccine candidate capable of mucosal immunity against salmonellosis in poultry through the network program we are having of the genome editing. Then the SOP for district disease diagnostic labs in the state of Haryana. The SOP for latest diagnostic techniques for diagnosis of important diseases of livestock, it is available and can be shared with the Department of Animal Husbandry, Haryana. So the specific requests may be sent to us. Apart from that, Maharashtra government has asked for the inquiry regarding availability of CCPP vaccine. So the vaccine against CCPP is currently not being produced in India. However, the research work has been initiated for goat mycoplasma at IVRI. Query regarding implementation of feed manufacturing guidelines for both animal and poultry feed. So the BIS guidelines can be followed for that. Supply of TB and GD antigen to Maharashtra state was asked. So the TB and GD antigens are available in ready stock at IVRA, and therefore they can be procured at any time in required quantities throughout the year. Then they have asked for setting up a production unit at BP Biological Products Unit in Pune. Although since the meet was held last year in September 2023, already IBBP Pune has already established its GMP facilities for BP. Then the Mizoram government has asked for necessary measures and advisories for African swine fever. So the detailed advisory for ASF is available on IVRA website and also on the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying website. Himachal Pradesh has asked a query on availability of bovine papillomatosis vaccine and whether any epidemiological studies have been undertaken on this respect in the state. So the work on pathoepidemiology of bovine papillomatosis has been conducted in IVRA covering different states of the country, including Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. Presently, one research on epidemiological and immunopathological studies on bovine papillomatosis in Himachal Pradesh is going on. However, there is no vaccine available for that as of now. Odisha has asked for aid in establishing advanced disease diagnostic lab at Bhubaneswar. So we can organize the training and exposure visits for them on their request or aiding them to establish the lab. Then the Rajasthan government has asked for establishment of testing unit of LSD vaccine. So IVRA can provide inputs for the testing of the LSD vaccine. Then Telangana government has asked for available technologies to identify meat adulteration. So project has been submitted and efforts are also being made for establishment of meat species identification laboratory in our IVRA in the LPD division. So these were the ATR for what happened last year and what were the actionable points and what IVRA has already done to take care of them. Now, for this particular year, we have circulated the registration form and we received registrations from 26 states and 5 union territories, representatives, their directors, deputy directors, joint directors, or additional directors who have joined this program. Next slide, please. So we have asked what you require from IVRA. So we knew that there won't be much differences, although still we have asked. So they have required short-term courses and technical support for diagnostic tools, disease management, sustainable livestock production, support R&D on vaccines, disease diagnosis and emerging diseases like LSD, BT and foot rot, training workshops, exposure trips for veterinarians, farmers, paravets, collaborate on breed improvement, nutrition, conservation efforts for species like Siri cattle and local livestock, assist with Sikkim and Telangana specific veterinary challenges, including modernization, climate adaptation, and disaster management, focus on eliminating brucellosis, advancing embryo transfer technology and pig disease research, offer technical assistance for policy formulation field issues, and develop diagnostic kits and tools and improve veterinary practices through innovation. Next slide, please. These are the areas in which veterinarians of the state and UT require training. So they have asked for these areas, strategies for preserving and improving local livestock breeds, sustainable and organic farming practices, advanced diagnostic techniques, lab equipment handling and disease forecasting, preparedness and response for natural calamities and critical conditions, disease treatment, control, vaccination and wildlife disease surveillance, entrepreneurship and capacity building and extension, surgical techniques, soft tissue surgery and anesthetic protocols, radiography, ultrasonography, cardiology, neurology, and production of diagnostic antigens, specialized training on value addition of milk, meat, and egg, innovations and new treatment protocols standardized by IVRA, and infertility and reproductive management. Next slide, please. So these are the areas in which paravet staff of the state and UT require training. So animal restraint, routine lab procedures and tests, livestock nutrition and fodder management, disaster preparedness and biosecurity, heat detection, artificial insemination, specialized training in AI for pigs, handling of liquid nitrogen in containers, smart livestock farming, primary diagnostic skills, and techniques for efficient sampling for diagnostic purposes. These are the technology requirements for veterinary officers. They want estrus synchronization, AI tools, cryopreservation, lab equipments like autoanalyzer, microscope, and advanced imaging, vaccine production, particularly cell culture, anti-rabies vaccine, ration balancing, feed analyzers, hydroponics, drones, kits, cold chain systems for purpose of disaster management, low-cost feeds for livestock and poultry, ultrasound, X-ray, endoscopes, PCR, portable kits. Next slide, please. These are the technology requirements for farmers. So they have suggested what their farmers require. So they need wearable sensors for early disease detection and reproductive health, estrus detection devices, AI kits and PD kits, ration balancing, fodder enrichment, block making, silage making, new technology for total mixed ration, tools for climate control in livestock and poultry farming, disease alert systems, biogas plant, composting units and effluent treatment systems, vaccination management tools and disease alert systems, technology for milk, meat and byproduct processing, access to expert advice and disease management information, nutrition guidelines for farmers, fodder planning and hydroponics, waste management solutions, technology for better housing and environment control in livestock and poultry farming. So would you like to suggest any researchable issue in animal health sector to be undertaken? So these were the responses that we received. They talked about heat stress management, low cost feed and high yield fodder, vaccines for diseases, that is African swine fever, LSD, BT and foot rot. They talked about artificial insemination in pigs and cattle, genetic improvement of sheep. They talked about A2 milk quality, residue-free products and meat processing and value addition. They talked about disease-resilient housing, climate impact on livestock and human-wildlife conflict. They have talked about efficient antibody response and AMR surveillance. And they've talked about indigenous bird characterization and hatcheries for Ladakh. And they've talked about profitability through animal waste utilization. So we have tried to actually summarize the responses that we received, because there is many repetitive responses from many states. But yes, there may be many which we could not summarize and we have left out, but we can take it up now in this particular session with the discussion from all the state departments. So with this, thank you very much. So now we are initiating the technical session 2. And in this technical session 2, so the co-chairperson will be Dr. H.R. Meena, Head Division of Extension Education. Our rapporteurs, Dr. M. Suman Kumar, Dr. Shruti, and the coordinators, Dr. Rohit and Dr. Akhilesh. So with this, we are starting the interaction with our State Department of Animal Husbandry representatives, directors, commissioners, and various other deputy directors and additional directors. I request my rapporteurs and coordinators to please take note of the suggestions that will be provided in this session. So with the permission of our Honorable Director, sir, I would now initiate this particular discussion session, and I request the Director Animal Husbandry and the Commissioner Animal Husbandries to please come up with, introduce themselves and come up with their responses and their inputs and their suggestions on the requirements of their states and any other suggestions that they feel. So I will start with the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Andhra Pradesh. So do we have a representation from Andhra Pradesh in this house?
Good afternoon to all the participants and to the
Good afternoon.
to the IVRI staff and the director. Thank you, ma'am. As far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, right now we don't have any suggestions or requirements, ma'am. But we will have our internal discussion and we'll come back to you, ma'am. Later we will send the information by mail.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So move on to Arunachal Pradesh. Representative from Arunachal Pradesh.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, officers. Yeah. I'm representing Arunachal. Actually, the director is not there, so I've been asked to represent you. So all the discussion I have noted, and I'll just discuss with my seniors, directors, and I'll let you send you after mail or something like that. I'll after.
So my submission to you and your department.
Sir.
Any suggestion? Kindly share suggestions. In the mail ID or our WhatsApp group. We have a WhatsApp group. So all the suggestions can be compiled and the appropriate action can be initiated. So the mail are welcome, or the suggestions through our WhatsApp group. Okay, sir?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now we move on to the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Assam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. P.K. Das. On behalf of director, I am a additional director. I am attending. You have already covered so many things. From our side, we want to regarding technology requirement for farmers. A disease alert system for farmers may be introduced.
Sir, we could not.
Disease alert system for farmers may be incorporated.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your inputs. This is
Thank you.
yeah. So moving ahead, now we move on to the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Bihar. Representative from Bihar government, director or nominee.
Okay.
Okay, moving ahead, now we move on to Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh State Department of Animal Husbandry.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Diagnostic techniques for emerging diseases like LSD and bird flu, swine fever. That they require for early detecting disease.
Early detection, ma'am, because what happens, confirmation comes in late by 2 or 3 days. So either you develop a SOP for immediate action in case of suspicion, or detection should be a bit early so that we get results fast and act fast.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So we have noted this early detection of these diseases. SOP. These are already there, and madam, we can share that with you. We can put it on the group. We have a group, and we can. Yeah, and you can send an email to Director IVRA, and we can send you on that. We can send the SOP to you for early detection.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now moving ahead with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Goa. Goa. Dr. Nitin Naik. State Department of Animal Husbandry of Goa. Dr.
Hello, good afternoon.
Sir, good afternoon.
Thing is that we are facing a problem with brucellosis. So if some kind of policy or action to take care of the animals which have already been infected with brucella is required.
Do we have? Can you please repeat the issue?
Thing is that many of the animals have been infected with brucella. Presently, the calves are being vaccinated with calf foot vaccination, but no policy or no action can be taken against the adult animals which have already been infected with brucella.
Yeah, Dr. Bablu, please.
Now there is no policy from government, so segregation at your own level or the daily level after screening.
Okay, madam.
The cutting also. The segregation is the only way. There is no.
Now, sir.
He's asking about the infected animals. Infected animals के लिए क्या करना है?
Segregate करना है sir. Segregate.
Segregate.
Nothing else.
So I think, sir, it's clear.
No, the thing is that segregation, but again, what happens is that it goes from one farm to the other farm without the knowledge of the farmers, because he purposely sells the animals to some other farmer. And
So that is said that this is known as a distress selling, and distress selling is a very important, crucial in this brucellosis, sir. So
yeah, yes, but the thing is that when the farmer comes to know that his animal is infected with brucellosis, he quietly sells it to some person who is unaware of this fact.
no, some policy relates at local level can also be taken strict measures not to sell those animals which has been already been tested positive. So some of the government of India has no separate policy for this, but at your own level, sir, we can design something like this.
Yeah, something has to be designed so that we can take care of these infected animals, because slaughtering is banned as of this thing.
That's why control is so difficult now.
Any other suggestions, sir?
No, this is it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Moving ahead, now we go on to the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Gujarat. Madam Falguni S. Thakkar.
Sorry, ma'am, I am Dr. Kiran Wasawa, in charge additional director of Gujarat.
Yeah, sir. Welcome.
Unfortunately, ma'am, our director madam has gone out with for some meeting. But and actually, madam, whatever the suggestion has been made by Gujarat, and we have also seen the suggestion from other state, it has been already covered and comprehended in your presentation. So once again, we will go through those suggestions, and we will definitely, if any additional suggestions are to be made to you, we'll make it, ma'am. And I am thankful for all this nice presentation which actually we have shared. You have shared with us, and it will be indeed a fruitful to share this knowledge with our field officer also. Ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inputs, and we'll try to put these presentations in the PDF mode in our website. So that will be very helpful for all. I request all
Thank you, ma'am.
members to please put these presentations on Ivory website. Now,
Thank you.
thank you. Now moving ahead with the State Animal Husbandry of Haryana. Haryana. State Department of Animal Husbandry of Haryana. Dr. L.C. Ranga. So, or his representative. Haryana government. Anybody is there from Haryana? Moving ahead, now we move on to Himachal Pradesh. Director Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh. Anybody from Himachal Pradesh? Director or representative? Jharkhand. State Department of Animal Husbandry of Jharkhand.
Good evening, ma'am.
Evening.
This side, Dr. Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Deputy Director of in Animal Husbandry, Jharkhand. I have attended the VC and meeting, ma'am, on behalf of my director, madam. First of all, I'd like to thanks, ma'am, that very valuable suggestions and information we have got. And regarding Jharkhand, ma'am, we are implementing a lot of a different type of state and central sector schemes for the sectoral growth. But 2 or 3 points are here, issues are here in Jharkhand. So that I would like to mention here. One bacon factory is here, ma'am, which was closed during fodder scam. And it was very nice bacon factory and very famous bacon factory. And this time government is willing to start this bacon factory. So if possible, then from IVRI or any ICR institutes, which who can help us to prepare DPR or any type of proposal to revive this bacon factory. Second thing that, ma'am, in Jharkhand, we are facing a problem for the shortage of green and dry fodder. But as you know that we are very rich in flora and fauna, since the forest area is very rich in Jharkhand. Therefore, we need one survey for flora and fauna of Jharkhand, which can be used for fodder to the animals. Means we need one research work also in Jharkhand, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Very important issues you have raised, and I think we have taken note of these both the issues, and we'll see how IVRA can support in the development of DPR and also for the research that you are requesting for the flora and fauna in the Jharkhand for assessing whether it can be used as a feed and fodder. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now moving ahead, we go to the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Karnataka. Director, Animal Husbandry, Karnataka Government. Actually, we already had, I think, last month a meet with the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Karnataka, and Dr. Manjunath Palgar and the Commissioner both had attended the meet, and they have raised their issues there also. So if they are here and would like to raise some other issues, else we now move ahead and we now move to State Department of Animal Husbandry, Kerala. Director, Dr. Sindhu from State Department of Animal Husbandry, Kerala.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, madam.
We need research in heat stress management in animals.
Yes, ma'am.
We have less land here.
Yeah.
So research may be done in fodder cultivation.
Yes, madam.
Producing varieties with more yield in less land.
Yes, ma'am.
Another one, research in increase individual animal productivity in cows, In our state, 10.25 is the productivity of per cow.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Another one, vaccine against anaplasmosis in bovines.
Yes, ma'am. We have taken note of this.
In our state, the disease is more.
Yes.
Another one, ma'am, collaborating research with SIAD and other RDDLs. Here we have a State Institute of Animal Disease Lab.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inputs, and we have taken note of this, and we'll start working on these issues to the extent possible at IVRI, and we'll come up with some ATR in the next year. And as far as collaborative research you have suggested, so I think our departments can think of that and come back to you with some proposals.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now moving ahead to the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, Dr. P.S.
Good afternoon, madam. Madam, Dr. P.S. Patel is engaged in CM's meeting. I am Dr. Tushar Lokande with my joint director, Dr. G.D. Verma. Madam, few suggestions are there.
Yes,
Very
sir.
first, maximum point you have covered in your presentation, but 2-3 points especially we want to say that as per AMR policy is coming and we are following that. But how to implement, we need suggestions and guidance from your side to implement it at field level with madam some guidelines for use of alternate medicine in field in place of antibiotics. If compile these things we can get, it will be better. Second thing, madam, as per thermostable vaccine, what you have shown ATR in that you have shown FMD vaccine has been transferred to private company. Madam, for other disease, it is also required thermostable vaccine, which will be very much helpful for field. Third thing, madam, is still instant rapid diagnostic kits are required at field level, so that farmer and our field staff can instantly preliminary diagnosis they can do and start the treatment as per guideline. Thank you, madam. These three preliminary our suggestions are there.
Okay. Sir, can you specifically mention like thermostable vaccine for which disease and the instant diagnostic kits for which disease? So that will be will help IVR in setting the priority for research. So if you can mention the
Madam, as you said that FMD technology has been transferred, but it haven't come to field yet. That is the very first required. And second thing, whatever disease are covered in NADCP vaccine, this viral diseases, for all them thermostable vaccines are required.
Okay, sir. Okay. And for the diagnostics, you have suggested any specific suggestions on disease? The diagnostic kits, rapid diagnostic kits.
Madam, we will email. Madam, especially for feed toxins and pesticide and disease, for disease diagnosis, some viral diseases like Gumboro disease, Ranikhet disease, canine distemper.
These okay, some of these be there. So I think if you can write a letter to the director IVRI, then we can send you a list of the diagnostic kits that are available with us. So we can send you to them. You can then procure from IVRI. So thank you very much. Now we are moving ahead from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra
Okay,
State.
madam. Thank you, madam.
State Department of Animal Husbandry, Maharashtra.
Good afternoon, madam. Am I audible?
Sir, you are very much audible and welcome.
Madam, I am representing Commissioner Animal Husbandry Maharashtra. So, sir is on tour to attend the meeting at Mantralaya, Mumbai. So I have to attend. I am Joint Director, Joint Commissioner WRDDL. So similar to Madhya Pradesh, madam, I have one request that field kit for various poisoning like insecticide, pesticide, or herbicide detection will be helpful for the farmers and even field veterinarians also, madam. So it will be very much helpful. And again, one more thing I will like to share, that we are implementing National Livestock Mission, and very industrial farm setups are there. We are going to establish in the state. So to these farmers, the little bit higher quality training is necessary, and there is already a training center at Pune, IVRI. So it can be possible, is it possible to start such trainings for these specific NLM beneficiaries who are starting or establishing new various farms like sheep farm, pig farm, or our poultry farms at their locations?
Yes, sir. So thank you. Actually, you are very much true. We have a center in Pune, and the basic mandate of that center is to train and capacity building of the that particular region, especially the western and the southern region. So I think the TEC Pune, or in charge, Dr. Athil, is already there. He is joined online, and they are already doing a number of trainings. And I think they can collaborate with you, and we can take up these NLM training on establishment of these enterprises. So this can be easily done.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you.
And,
And rapid test, madam, field pesticide, insecticide, and herbicide detection test, madam.
So we
Because
yeah, we have noted down, sir, and we will put it in our research priorities, and we can see what we can come up with by the end of the this year.
okay, thank you. So kind of you, madam.
Now moving ahead to the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Manipur.
Good evening, madam. I am Dr. R.K. Koyendrajit Singh, Director Veterinary Manipur, madam.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
So, madam, so I want to place some few points regarding to our state. It's regarding this hands-on training on this artificial insemination practical point of view. That is one thing, and practical on this meat technology and transboundary diseases. This is very, I mean, Manipur is just neighbor to the Myanmar, and this is foreign country. So we want to give more emphasis on transboundary diseases. And regarding this conservation of indigenous cattle of Manipur, if there is a provision to be included in this agenda or this resolution, so we want to conserve this indigenous cattle of Manipur. And more important thing is the rapid diagnostic kit for particularly SF. We have to send a sample to the Guwahati right now, so it took about 7 days. So if we have this rapid diagnostic kit, it will be very helpful for our state. And lastly, we submitted this through Central Agriculture University. We submitted registration for Haufa dog. So I think if it is at earliest possible, if it is done, it will be very helpful for our state to recognize this breed.
So which registration of which breed?
Haupa dog.
Dog. Okay, so okay, yeah. I think NBAGR is taking it.
Okay, okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
So thank you very much, sir. We have noted down the training related requirements, and I think for the training you can send one letter to email it to the director IVRI, and we can plan for some sponsored trainings, and also we can take up some trainings. I think in the NEH we have a NEH scheme, so I think we can take up some trainings on NEH scheme through our standardization of the BP division, like we did last year. So that is possible.
NEA state.
Yeah, we have a program of Northeastern Hilly region wherein we are getting funding from the government. So
I mean, if the training can be conducted at the northern part of India, it will be better for us.
Yeah.
I mean, over there, it took times and money only for that.
Okay, so you want that the training should be conducted at your place?
If possible, it is very far better than this. Yeah.
Okay, sir, we can explore that. We can. Thank you.
Okay.
So now moving ahead to the state government, Meghalaya, State Department of Animal Husbandry, Meghalaya. Do we have representation from Meghalaya government? Next is Mizoram, State Department of Animal Husbandry, Mizoram. Dr. Jothamai. Mizoram, anybody from Mizoram? Then State Department of Animal Husbandry, Nagaland, Dr. Achila.
Yes, ma'am. I am representing Director Dr. Achila. She has just went out because of some other engagements.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Dr. Imo Director here. Madam, one point, during the last couple of years, there has been outbreak of African swine fever in Nagaland in 5-6 places. Yes, because of the rural condition, biosecurity measures are very much difficult, and there is no vaccine. That's why the farmers have lost a huge economy because of this. So if there could be any other advices or measures in the absence of the full biosecurity, because the area is such that though pig are reared under confinement, there are still wild pigs, wild boars. So this may be a factor by which the diseases are spread from one place to another. So we want to have advisories or any other primitive measures for controlling the African swine fever. That's one. Second point, we also want to identify and evaluate the indigenous fodder trees or grasses available here in this region and particularly Nagaland to supplement the farmers' expenses on feeds. So these are the areas on which we would like to have your advices. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As regards the ASF, I think advisories are already available and it's placed on the Department of Animal Husbandry Dairying website as well as IVRA website. Yeah. And as far as indigenous feed identification, feed and fodder, I think that can be discussed with some collaborative project or some other center of ours that can take it up. So we have nutrition division and I think we'll put in the proceeding and they can take it up as a research project for the next year.
Thank you.
Moving ahead, we move to Odisha government. Director and
Good evening, ma'am. This is Ramasi Sazra, Director Animal Husbandry, Odisha.
yes. Yes, sir.
First thing I would request you to open a common platform where from we can get advice at the time of emergency, like outbreak of diseases, instant some kind of solution to problems. And further, I would suggest to kind of develop a FMD vaccine for a longer duration, which will be effective for a longer duration. Presently, it is effective for 6 months. Say if it can be developed to be effective for 1 year, that will be better since we have less manpower is a problem, and multiple vaccination is, we are doing it of course, but that will be better. Same, I also further suggest some combined vaccines for different diseases.
Yes, sir. So any, sir, specific combined vaccines you suggest?
Ma'am, HS and BQ.
Yes, sir.
You have already combined vaccines for PPR and goat plugs, I think.
HSB.
So if it can, HS and BQ. I'm requesting for HS and BQ. If it can be a combined vaccine for both, that will be better.
Yeah, sir. Sir, as far as your first query is concerned, opening a common platform, sir, IVRE already has a cadred, which is also called the CDDL. So it is the most important and common platform throughout the country, and you can approach to the Joint Director cadred for any issues regarding the outbreaks and they are even sending teams for such outbreaks which are not known. And you can send your queries to Joint Director cadred, Dr. Sohini Day, and the email ID details are available on our IVRE website. Secondly, you are asking for FMD vaccine for longer duration, sir. We have already shown in our ATR that 4 projects are right now going on for enhancing the immunity of the vaccine and at various levels. So I think soon we will be coming up with some research results because the process is already going on. And with regard to combined vaccines, sir, IVRE already developed PPR sheeppox and PPR goatpox, and we are also in the process of developing some other vaccines. And as far as HSBQ is concerned, I think this is already there in the market. This is available as a combined vaccine in the market that can be taken from.
Really? Oh, is it already available, you think?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yes.
we have no idea. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Now moving ahead to State Department, Animal Husbandry, Punjab. Dr. G.S. Bedi, Director, Animal Husbandry, Punjab. Any representative from Punjab? Punjab government? Rajasthan, Animal Husbandry Department, Rajasthan, Dr. Anand Sejra. Rajasthan government. So moving ahead to Sikkim, Dr. Sanjay M. Gajmer, Director, Animal Husbandry from Sikkim.
Yes, madam. Am I audible, ma'am?
Sir, you are very much audible.
Okay, ma'am. In fact, thank you for conglomerating all the viewpoints that we had already placed in the forms that were given to us. First of all, in fact, including all that, I think we should not, in my feeling, we should not miss the post-disaster management and mitigation, research on it and impart training for paraveterinarians and even veterinarians. So that is one area we would also like to look into. And another area is on A2 milk residue-free research that you had already included, if that could be also a part of your research there. And we are not sure because we've never tried embryo transfer technology in Sikkim, if that could also be a part of a research for Sikkim state on some, good breeds, especially the indigenous breeds. So that is one area. Another area we are also looking for training for vets on meat quality analysis, meat quality analysis, and also for fodder, which most of the northeastern states have always have had the problem of. So, and also we are looking out for support and training on lab technology and nutrition lab as well for better analysis of the fodder for local fodder available. Likewise, I was happy to see that some our points on wearable sensors where early detection of diseases could also be imparted as training to our farmers and veterinarians. So if there is any other thing that comes up, we would always.
Yeah. Sir, thank you very much. You have filled the registration form in a very vast manner, and there were many things that we have taken from that in showing it in our actually presentations. So we have taken note of all your inputs, sir, and the group is already there, wherein all the directors of Animal Husbandry are there. So you can always post your suggestions there, and also you can write to directorivra@gmail.com in email for your suggestions and collaborative training programs and collaborative research. We can take it up along with the Sikkim government for these issues that you have raised, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, sir, specific trainings, if you want some customized trainings, you can send a letter to us, sir. Then we can take it up for you. Now moving ahead to the Tamil Nadu government. Dr. S. Vineet, IAS, Director Animal Husbandry, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu. Then moving ahead, Telangana government. Director Animal Husbandry, Telangana. Mr. B. Gopi, IAS, Director Animal Husbandry, Telangana. Then moving ahead to Tripura, Animal Husbandry Department, Tripura.
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Neeraj Kumar Chanchal, Director, Animal Husbandry, Tripura.
Yes, sir.
So, as you know, ma'am, Tripura is means covered with three-side boundary of Bangladesh. So we have a lot of problem with transboundary diseases like ASF, bird flu. Any guidelines or any things if we will get SOP, then it will be better. If government approved SOP will get, then it will be better, ma'am. And other is like northeastern states have a lot of hilly area, ma'am. That is not like rock solid hills are not there, like soils only there, that loose soils there, but we have that irrigation and other problem. So, and fodder scarcity are really very tough to deal with here, ma'am. So if we have some research in that field, like fodder, rain-fed fodder for hilly state, actually northeastern state, that will be very good, ma'am. And sir has already given that fodder related presentation, that was really beautiful. And we have very good resources of actually pigs, ma'am. Our 40 to 50% meat consumption is with by the pigs only, ma'am, with the help of pigs. So AI in pigs is very supportive for us. So kindly make some technological collaboration or training for operationalization of AI in pigs in northeastern state, particularly Tripura, ma'am. And like alternative feed sources also, we need fodder sources, feed sources for particularly for pig and poultry. We don't have much population of goat, but in farm level we have a lot of population of pigs and poultry. So we need alternative feed sources for that, because we don't have much land for feed production like maize and wheat like that. So if alternate feed sources for hilly area like northeast Tripura, then it will be better, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me, ma'am. It's really a very wonderful session with all of you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. We have taken note of all your suggestions. You can write to us for the collaborative training programs that you have suggested, especially for the AI. As far as SOPs are requested, I think SOPs and advisories are already there on the Animal Husbandry website and IVRA website, and they can be taken note, and we can also send the advisories to the State Department.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. I am from Telangana, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, welcome, ma'am. Yeah.
I am on behalf of director. I am additional director, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Ma'am, small request, ma'am.
Yes.
That we are procuring from for ELISA kits, PPR ELISA kits from IVRA, ma'am. For us, it is very difficult to get. Is it possible to get nearer from the Karnataka, ma'am?
What, madam, you have asked? Actually, your voices was not.
PPR ELISA kits, ma'am.
You want from?
Nearer from Karnataka. Can you get from the nearer from Karnataka? It's far away from us.
Sir, our Bengaluru campus is there. Commercial production तो नहीं कर रहे ना हम?
From we are getting from IVRA Mukteshwar, ma'am.
Yeah, we are not doing in Bangalore. It is in IVRA Mukteshwar.
Okay.
वहाँ तो production ही नहीं होता होगा ना?
So we are coming over on the way long distance. Is it possible to get from the Karnataka? That's my way.
Yes, really.
Possible only from, I think Mukteshwar only it is preparing that.
Okay, okay. Regarding training programs are concerned, we will come through mail, ma'am.
Yeah, already we organized, I think you remember that, I think last month we have organized for that AMR handling.
Okay.
Hands-on training on AMR, 2 trainings were organized for Telangana government. Yeah. So
Some,
we
we require breed improvement techniques in for veterinary assistant surgeons.
okay, ma'am, please write to us through director email ID.
Okay.
You can organize, plan and organize that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So after we have moved to Uttar Pradesh, government of Uttar Pradesh. Dr.
On
JK.
कर दो.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam Roopsi, and Namaskar, Director Sahab, Dr. Triveni Dutt Sahab, who is heading this session from since inception. और बहुत सारे deliberations हम लोगों ने सुने और patiently और we got the time fortunately also कि हम आपसे interact करें. I am Dr. J.K. Kumar Pandey, Director Animal Husbandry, Government of UP. Sir, deliberations में we have got several clues and definitely several indications and what the work IVRI is doing, and we are well versed with this. And IVRI is definitely making commendable job in development of different prophylactic vaccines. Earlier, antigens also were being made, and we used to get technical support from IVRI from time to time. But few issues जो हमने we have already responded in the Google form. Apart from that, few issues I want to flag that can be helpful for the state also and for the other for UP also and other state also. One thing is that I would like to extend thanks to the IVRI that I think so it is second time this interactive meeting, annual meeting is being held. Earlier it was in 2023, now it is in 2024. This is a good beginning, and from last 20 years, states are just discussing it with the IVRI that there should be some joint interactive session must have been there. And I'm thankful to IVRI for making it a success. Important thing is that, Madam, I would like to flag the issue. Need-based research committees needs to be made. जो area wise that can be IVRI and states, they can have subcommittee or some task force for need-based research what the states are needing. Just बहुत सारे issues state ने flag किया है. And one thing is very important as far as the diagnostics and the vaccines are concerned, IVRI is making commendable job, but studies we need, particularly the socio-economic studies. Now the economic welfare, economic status is changing continuously. We are not on the pattern of traditional animal husbandry. तो ये request करना चाहेंगे what the problem state is suffering, state specific problem, particularly with the UP, the problem of destitute cattle, निराश्रित गोवंश को 12.5 लाख गोवंश को madam we are feeding and 2,500 crores we are spending annually. So why the people are refraining and why the animal husbandry is not becoming remunerative? या issues क्या हैं, इनको socio-economic impact क्या है? So studies should also be planned by the IVRI along with the researches also, जो आपका main mandate है. But few studies what the state need, because even for the production of eggs, costing of eggs, value of eggs, we used to go for the different agencies, NAPCONs and others for sponsoring studies. This is the situation in the livestock sector also. So studies, at least research is one thing and study has also to be important, maybe by your extension department and others. Madam Director, sir, I would like to request, we have done a lot of work in the prophylaxis, but newer veterinary drugs एक हमारे लिए challenge है. New veterinary drugs हमारे पास नहीं आ पा रही हैं. Still we are dealing with the age old drugs जो available हैं या जो जगह जगह foreign में develop होती हैं उनको या human medications में जो develop होती हैं उन्हीं पे हम rely upon करते हैं. ये जरूर है कि new drug formulations and combinations जिसके लिए कि अभी इंडिया में research and डेवलपमेंट R&D कम है तो गवर्नमेंट शुड कम फॉरवर्ड. तो न्यू ड्रग्स के लिए एवेन्यूज है सर, तो हम चाहेंगे कि जैसे कि डेल्टामेथ्रिन है उससे रेजिस्टेंस डेवलप हो गई टिक्स के लिए, तो वी हैव शिफ्टेड टू द साइपरमेथ्रिन. फिर साइपरमेथ्रिन से भी डेवलप हो गई, देन वी आर शिफ्टिंग सम अदर कॉम्बिनेशंस। तो these newer ड्रग्स पे जरूर रिसर्च एरेना है, जिस पे हमारी रिक्वेस्ट है कि वी शुड कम फॉरवर्ड। एक और एरिया है सर, जो veterinary accessories and equipments, what we have learned long back, 36 years back, hobbles use होते हैं for restraining of the horses। अभी वो इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन में हम पीछे हो रहे हैं। ये रिक्वेस्ट है रूपसी मैम से कि इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन के लिए जो हमारी वेटनरी फेटर्निटी है, हमारे साइंटिस्ट हैं, ये जो इंजीनियर्स हैं, जो कंप्यूटर एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, उनके साथ भी एक एलिनेशन बना के वो करें। अगर स्कैल्प वेन सेट वो यूज़ करते हैं तो वही हम आज यूज़ करते हैं। हमारे लिए कोई अभी भी थाइगेशंस जो वो है, अभी भी वो हमारे पास थाइगेशंस के वो सिस्टम चले आ रहे हैं। अब डिस्टोकिया सेट वही चले आ रहे हैं। नए इक्विपमेंट्स आपने दिखाए हैं, कुछ डेवलप किए हैं, बट दिस एरेना हैज़ टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ। एनिमल हैंडलिंग में, वेटनरी एसेसरीज में देयर इज लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस, तो उनको देखने की ज़रूरत है कि हम लोग इस पे भी करें कि जिससे हमारे पास न्यूअर प्रोडक्ट्स आए, क्योंकि मैन फील्ड में हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो फील्ड में हमारे लिए बहुत लिमिटेशंस हो गई हैं। And one important thing, states are heading towards the agriculture department, other departments, they are heading towards artificial intelligence. But still we are not in position to chalk out the area जिसमें हम artificial intelligence use करेंगे। हम IVRI से request करते हैं सर कि because in the different forums, state की meetings में हम animal husbandry and veterinary sector में artificial intelligence को use करना चाहते हैं, but still we are not known कि किन एरियाज में हमको यूज़ करना है। तो IVRI में भी दी इन असिस्टेंस टू अस कि हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस किन एरियाज में एक्सप्लोर करें, अप टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट एक्सप्लोर करें, ये हम आपसे मदद चाहते हैं। सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर दिस नाइस डेलिब्रेशन, एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर इनवाइटिंग अस हियर, जिसमें कि हम आपसे डेलिब्रेट कर पाए सर। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And the points you have made, we have noted down. And I think we are already in the process of developing some equipments and accessories. And we are already having a repertoire of all these. And we can, I think, specifically have a interaction session and a workshop with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Uttar Pradesh. And we can share all these. And sir, as far as you have requested for the AI in livestock sector, so IVR is already progressing in that area. And we can also have a workshop on that area as well. And we can showcase what type of technologies can be used and for the artificial intelligence in livestock sector. So because we are already developing chatbots, and we have already done work on the voice recognition and the machine vision, wherein the weight estimation can be done with the mobile image taken up. So those things are already there, sir, and we can discuss that through some workshop or a specific program through the UP government. So that can be taken up. Thank you, sir, for your suggestions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ahead, we are now going to the government of Uttarakhand. Dr. Neeraj Singhal, Director, Animal Husbandry, Uttarakhand. Director, Animal Husbandry, Uttarakhand. Okay, he was there in the morning, maybe. So we'll move ahead. If he joins, then he can again. Then moving ahead to West Bengal, Dr. Yograj Tamang, Director, Animal Husbandry, West Bengal. Now we move to the Union Territories, Andaman and Nicobar Island, representative from Andaman and Nicobar Island. Daman and Diu. Daman and Diu. Dr. Vijay Parmar from Daman and Diu. The Union Territory of Delhi, Dr. Satyaveer.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Myself, Dr. Satyaveer Singh, Director, Animal Husbandry, Delhi. Ma'am, my queries are there. Is there any SOP for running a Gaushala of stray animals? Because Delhi is having a stray cattle problem. Is there any SOP has been prepared by IVRI that is authenticated by Government of India, or some specific techniques developed by IVRI, keeping in view the stray cattle, so that they can be made productive. And I just want whether IVRI is supplying canine distemper vaccine and parvovirus vaccine, and are they compatible or are they competitive with the vaccines available that are being made available by the private companies? And my next query is a training calendar by IVRI, has it been prepared, and can it be made on the onset of financial year, so that we can propose the names and nominate persons for attending the trainings, and whether IVRI sponsors those training, or the sponsorship is done by the concerned department. These are my few queries, ma'am.
Sir, as far as SOP training, actually we are running a now for how to of the profitability of culled animals. So that I think we can put an SOP. So that is going on. And we are keeping that unproductive animals in that project, and through that we are generating to develop an SOP for these particular stray animals. So that
that SOP may please be communicated to our department.
yes, sir, we will, whenever it is ready, we'll supply it to your government. And secondly,
Please share me.
CDV and PV, sir, I will supplying them. We recently developed these two individual vaccines, and we are proposing to develop in the future a combined vaccine. But whenever the vaccine, these are ready and when they are commercialized, so you can procure them from the market. IVRI does not supply actually vaccines. We are supplying only antigens. We are not producing and duplicating these vaccines. Rather, we commercialize it to the government, the commercial entities or the government biological products division. So, sir, you have to procure them outside. But right now, it's not commercialized. So,
Okay.
then the third thing is training calendars, sir. So, training calendars are shared for the year. 25 available.
These two vaccines, that's not, I think we are going to share with Agri Innovate, and the cost of these two vaccines are yet to be fixed. And once we shared with Agri Innovate, then you are free to take this technology from Agri Innovate. Our state biological unit, various state biological unit, they have procured our technology through Agri Innovate. Or you can procure this technology through IVRI also. Now government have given the leverage or free, they have made a regulation that IVRI can also commercialize this technology. So it is good always to take this technology from Agri Innovate. Agri Innovate is our subsidiary of Indian Council of Agriculture Research. So Agri Innovate is the right platform through which you can procure these two technologies. I think within how much? Within 3-4 months? Within 3-4 months, we are going to share. Okay.
And so one,
Okay, sir.
you have asked about IVF. So, sir, these are sponsored. Training cost has to be the organization. Like if you want a training, then the cost has to be borne by the Delhi government.
No. He's asking about the schedule.
No, that we have told.
Need to be given in the beginning of the financial year. So they can very well sponsor their candidate to IVRI.
No, he has also asked this, that whether it should be from our funds or their funds. So financial year we are putting the calendar in the sponsor तो लेकिन आपके government को करना पड़ेगा, because these are sponsored trainings. Yeah. And we'll put the next year.
Yeah, ma'am. And the calendar for training in the next financial year may be made available at the earliest, so that we can nominate our officers for that training.
March we will make it available in the.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ahead to government. Ladakh, Union Territory of Ladakh. Dr. Ismail, Director, Animal Husbandry.
कोई दूसरा सिस्टम खुला हुआ है
Ladakh government.
हैं?
उनकी में से आ रही थी सर बात. Then moving ahead to Jammu, Union Territory of Jammu.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes, please.
ma'am, I'm Dr. Riyaz representing Directorate of Animal Husbandry, Kashmir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Ma'am, this was a nice presentation which you had earlier in a couple of hours before, and we'll come through mail regarding suggestions what we are putting before the Augusta House, and my director is outside the station, and we'll definitely respond on the WhatsApp group as well as on the email.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
व्हाट्सएप जो मेल है ना व्हाट्सएप पर शेयर कर देना.
Director. So, do we have any representative from Jammu also?
No.
Maybe not, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, the last is Union Territory of Puducherry, Dr. Lata Mangeshkar.
That's
Okay,
traveling.
she's traveling, so no representative. Okay. So I think with this, we complete all the representations and the inputs from all the state governments and the
किसी और query?
and union territories. Anybody who is left out by any chance or who we have called, but that time they were not there, like the Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, or Meghalaya, Punjab, Rajasthan. Anybody from these states whose inputs we missed by any chance? Or anybody else who is representing in this meeting and have not spoken and they would like to provide their inputs? So I think with this, we are coming to an end of the technical session 2. And I thank all these directors of the State Environment Department and all the representatives and joint directors, additional directors for their inputs that they have provided. And further inputs they can always provide in the group that we have made of the State Environment Departments. And they can also send their inputs through email. And we can always work on developing collaborative projects, training programs, and also for developing some proposals for and DPRs and some aid for establishing laboratories and other requirements of the State Department. I have with us my co-chairperson, Dr. H.R. Meena. Would you like to provide some inputs? Okay, nothing. So then with this, I think we are coming to an end of the program. And before closing, I think I will take the concluding remarks from our Honorable Director, Dr. Triveni Das, sir. Sir, your comments.
So, very good evening to all of you. Now, we have reached to the end of the program. First of all, I and on behalf of IVRA fraternity, the esteemed director of various states who have shared their valuable thoughts, views for setting the researchable agenda of IVRI. This is a very important platform for IVRI. And additionally, the State Department of Animal Husbandry is the valued stakeholder of IVRI. We always see whenever we try to prepare our issues related to our research, the need of the state is utmost important for IVRI. Today we had a wonderful interaction, and our esteemed directors, they have expressed the need of the states. We had an experience that this platform is very important platform for IVRI. Last time, several issues have been raised by our director colleagues from various states. And most of the issues raised by our colleagues, we have tried to address. Many issues we have already undertaken our research programs. Sometimes we also had a feedback of our technologies through our colleagues. The feedback of our technology is also important. The important mention is that the INADCP and Livestock Health and Disease Control Program. This is for your kind information that IVRA has a great role giving the technical backstopping to these important programs of Government of India. Technical backstopping not only through the training of state line department officials or industry officials, but also whenever industry needs our help, we are providing, and also we are also providing the diagnostics required to undertake these important programs. So we are the only provider of the technologies, but you are the actual user of the technology. You know what is the shortcoming of our technologies and how these technologies can be upscaled, can be improved in order to have a wider applicability. So this is an important issue for us. My submission to all our director colleagues that now the continuing veterinary education is now a very important. Skilling of our veterinary professionals or upgradation of knowledge of our veterinary professional is really required. And this is the agenda of Government of India also. So in tune of the need of various states, a total number of 90 courses including 22 diploma and 68 certificate and vocational courses deemed university have started. And a total number of 5 courses we have also introduced through online and distance learning mode. So my submission to all colleagues, because we have a limited or scarcity of manpower, it is very difficult to leave officials for a longer period. So we can encourage officials through online mode. At least the officials must be knowledge must be upgraded, and you see a lot of innovations, lot of upgradations. I think we have made in our research portfolio. So my submission to all the colleagues that whenever you find the chance to depute officials, most welcome. Otherwise, you can also facilitate to the officials to join online and take the advantage of various programs. Now it is a time of knowledge sharing, and our officials, they are always ready to share their knowledge, whatever gained over the period of time. My second submission to all the colleagues, kindly visit to our websites. We have already updated our website, and this website is related to our newer portfolio of research, technologies, teaching and training programs, and outreach activities. So my submission, kindly, whenever you find time, kindly try to visit our websites. And for your information, we have also developed an application, mobile applications, which envisaged the total services or technologies developed by IVRI over the period of 135 years. So these applications can also be disseminated to among our officials, so they can be updated that these are the newer achievements of IVRI. They can be, because the knowledge, there are various ways of sharing of the knowledge. So for the sake of our officials, we have also developed applications, and in tune of the need of the states, we have also developed the package of scientific package of practices developed by IVRI. This is also the e-copy, and in that a series of practices we have documented, and SOP have been given. So now the visiting websites having the knowledge of the research portfolio of IVRI now have become a important. We also encourage our officials to upgrade their knowledge through our higher educations like MBSc and PhD. In new education policy, a lot of advantage have been given to the officials working in the field. As per their availability of time, they can join our courses. They can go back to the government, to the states to serve. And whenever they find time again, they can come. So the Academic Bank of Credit, the programs have been launched by the Government of India. So in one go, if officials have no time to spare, they can complete their degree program in various splits. So government have initiated a lot of activities, at least to those officials who cannot spare their time in one go. So this is for your kind information. And today we had a very wonderful discussions, and the requirement of various state we have already noted, and we very soon we would like to prepare the proceeding, and we would like to disseminate the proceeding also, and we would love to work on the proceeding. So I think today is a very important day for us. We are really happy to meet our the valued stakeholder, and we learn many things from you. And I think my last request to all the officials that whenever we had a call, we have a call for something, kindly try to respond at the earliest, so that we can both serve livestock owner appropriately. So this is, I think, from my side, and in the end, I am really grateful to Honorable Minister of State Fishery, Dairy and Animal Husbandry, who has spared valuable time for inaugural session. And my gratitude to all the director colleagues who have really given a valuable suggestions, and these suggestions we really valued, and we will try to work on it. And thanks to all our esteemed director of the various state governments. My thanks to all the joint director colleagues of IVRI, region in charges of various head of regional center, and the joint director of Mukteshwar and Bangalore campus. And thanks to the team of joint director extension and joint director extension also for giving this important, organizing this important platform, sharing the views of IVRI, and also taking the views from esteemed director colleagues. So thanks, and my good wishes to all the colleagues. Happy New Year's, prosperous and wealthy years. Thank you very much.
For your informative and insightful concluding remarks. And now we have reached to the end of interface meet, and I request Dr. Badru Kumar, Principal Scientist, Biological Products, IVRI, to propose the formal vote of. Thank you, Dr. Rohit. So it is my privilege to extend the vote of thanks on this remarkable occasion of first follow-up of the All India State Animal Husbandry Director Interface meets, focusing on advances in animal health and production. First and foremost, I express my deepest gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor S.P. Singh Baghelji, Honorable Minister of State for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India, for his inspiring address and unwavering support for the livestock sector. The presence of the Honorable Minister was here today was a testament to his commitment to advancing animal health and welfare. I also wish to express my gratitude to Dr. Vijit Mitra, Animal Husbandry Commissioner, DADF, Government of India, for sparing his valuable time to grace the occasion. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Triveni Dutt, sir, Director and Vice Chancellor, ICRI, for his visionary leadership and for steering this institution towards excellence. Your guidance and thoughtful remarks have set the stage for meaningful discussion and actionable outcome from this meet. So I am thankful to all the directors of the State Animal Husbandry Department for their active participation, valuable input and suggestions. My sincere thanks to all the joint directors, Dr. S.K. Singh sir, Dr. S.K. Mandirata sir, Dr. Roopsi madam, Dr. Sohini Day, Dr. Pallab Chaudhary, Dr. Y.P.S. Malik sir, and all of the heads of the division station in charges for their active participation and invaluable contribution to this meet. Once again, my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Roopsi Tiwari madam, Joint Director Extension Education, for her invaluable effort in conceptualization and organizing this event. Madam, your dedication and meticulous planning has been instrumental in seamless execution of this program. I extend my special thanks to all the esteemed speakers for his informative and engaging presentation on a very pertinent and relevant topic and innovative ideas that they shared during the technical session. I owe my sincere thanks to all the chairpersons, co-chairmen, rapporteurs, and coordinators for ensuring the seamless flow of session and maintaining the highest quality of standard of professionalism throughout the program. A warm thanks to all the participants once again for their active engagement and meaningful contribution. My heartfelt appreciation to organizing team and support staffs whose hard work and commitment have ensured the success of this event. Let us continue to work together to strengthen animal health, enhance productivity, and contribute to the sustainable development of livestock sector. Thank you very much and wish you all a pleasant evening.